What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Chad Sedio Story. This is the post-game spread, and I am your host, Blake Helm. Uh, really excited to bring to you guys this story. I think it's really unique and interesting. Chad was a 27th round pick of the Tigers in 2016. Spent the better part of 4 years in the Tigers organization, kind of ending in a whirlwind year where he went from A-ball to AAA. Then COVID hit, and then he ended up hooking up with Teacher Man. Richard Shank himself learning the HLP, kind of changing his career there offensively, started exploding. But then he found his way into indie ball, has been all over with indie ball, was in the Mexican League, played in Nicaragua, still mashing, hit 19 home runs this past year. And he's kind of at a crossroads where he's deciding whether or not he wants to keep playing. So I thought this is a really unique place too for him to, reflect back on his career, everything he's went through, and then decide, hey, is this enough or do I need another year, under the sun with the uniform on my back? So this is one of my favorite hitting guys online. Go check him out on Instagram, Chad Sedio. He does HLP stuff, Teacher Man. I have a hard time refuting it as an amateur hitting guy myself. Fascinating hearing Chad's thoughts there on hitting. We do a fun baseball Q&A at the end, but he takes us through his whole journey. So hope you guys are going to enjoy this. This is 2 parts. This is going to be the Chad Sedio story. Here we go. What's up, y'all? Before we get going, I want to say thank you to all our sponsors out there. You guys keep breathing life into this, and I keep going. So a very special thank you to Washco Strength and Speed, Overtime Training Academy, Body Symmetry, Sheehan and Sheehan Lawyers, Milner Dentistry, the law offices of Stephen Kelly through Matt Brewer, Bank of Springfield, Sitco Chiropractic, Glisson Heating and Air, Eric Easley, the Realtor, the Kaiser Family, the Office Sports Bar and Grill, Hammers Radon Mitigation, BSN Sports, Cardinal Cleaning, the Crafted Stag, GT Performance Consulting, Safe House, Illinois, Nate Guernsey, the Realtor, Salvaggio Steel, Hudson Chiropractic, Flow Yoga, and the Shamrocks Baseball and Softball Club. All these entities, minus Hudson Chiropractic, are located in Springfield, Illinois. Hudson Chiropractic, located in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Go check these guys out. We really appreciate you. One love. All right, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Post-Game Spread. Going to be your host, as always, sitting across from me. This is a cool story. Chad Sedio. Been excited to do this for a while. We have an interesting connection that I'll get into in a little bit, but I know there's going to be some new listeners out there, so let me take you through what the post-game spread is and who I am. Started this about 2.5, 3 years ago as a way to get back into the game. It's grown and grown and grown. Essentially what it is a deep dive into a player's career. And we go back and I pick guys that have interesting journeys through the game. And I go back and talk with coaches, people like that sometimes, parents, teammates, and get some ideas on who the person was and whatnot. But today I'm going in blind. So this is going to be exploratory through your career, just through questions. I've sent you all the questions previously, but let me go through your background here. Chad started at Highland High School in Medina, Ohio, before moving on to Miami of Ohio, where he was a 4-year starter, drafted in the 27th round by the Tigers in 2016. Chad spent 4 years in the Tigers organization, reaching as high as AAA before finding his way into indie ball, the Mexican League, some Nicaragua ball, still playing, still mashing, absolutely mashed this last year. And now one of my favorite hitting coaches on Instagram. He is certified in the HLP high-level pattern by Teacher Man. Our connection here, this is cool. So I got the bat right
you got
here.
it right there.
Wait. Yeah.
Yep.
And you can see it. So this man wrote it on here. I don't know how many years. Obviously, you were still an affiliated when you wrote this.
Well, check the date on the bat. You can probably, on the knob, it should say when it was made. Probably a year after that.
It's not giving me a great date. It's a Rawlings. I'm seeing it.
There should be. Maybe they don't have it. Some of
No,
the
I'm
pro
not seeing a date.
stocks, some of the pro stocks would have a date on there.
Right. So the interesting, it's an I-13 Rawlings, but the interesting story behind that is I love bats, especially ash bats, and I befriended a clubby in my time in indie ball. And long story short, he had a surplus of bats that he was like, hey, I'm trying to get rid of these. I don't know how he got a hold of them, but he started sending me 3 or 4 bats at a time I liked my collection of bats to grow. And one time there was a name on it, and I was like, let's see who this guy is, So I looked you up and I was like, okay, interesting. And then I think I reached out on Instagram and just said hello years ago before I had a podcast, anything. And you're kind. And then, look, this guy. And then I was going through my bats one day again a couple years ago, within the last year or so, I guess, and saw the name again. And I was like, what's this guy doing now? So looked you up, and then you're doing HLP stuff, which I find fascinating. I'm a amateur hitting guy, all ate up with mechanics, love it myself. So fascinated to know how that's a part of your career. Fascinated to go through all your stuff. The 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 college, the indie ball, the Mexican league, all fascinating stuff. Um, how are we doing today, brother? What's up?
Good. We are good. We are getting into the really cold weather in
Yeah,
Cleveland. It's
that
like
that's where you're at.
It'll be fall for about another week. We've had a
Yeah,
week of fall. It's usually 2 weeks of fall and then straight into the cold. But
for
yeah, I'm
sure.
doing well.
And I want to say I love that Chief Wahoo hat you got on there, man. It looks vintage. How old is that guy?
It is old. It was actually found in the wild. I didn't
Really?
purchase this. Yeah. And I washed it, made sure it didn't carry any rare diseases, and then been wearing it since. It's been years. It's kind of hard to find them anymore to
Yeah,
buy,
sure.
but I mean, if
Yeah.
anyone from here, if you go to a game, there's plenty of Chief Wahoo stuff you'll see, you
Yeah.
know.
Do you have a thought on the changing of the mascot?
Um, I don't quite understand why some teams are allowed to not change and some have to. It's just trying to please
That's interesting,
the
isn't it?
masses, I guess, but I
Yeah.
mean, the Braves still exist.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting too. Yeah, but the Indians changed it. Forever a classic logo. Can't see it and not think of the movie Major League, one of my favorite all-time baseball
Same.
movies, and
Same.
just a classic. Before we get into start exploring your background and questions, there was one thing that jumped out to me that I always ask guys that have played pro ball, and it's about being a utility guy. And I'm looking at the games that you've played defensively throughout your career. It's all over the place. Like
Right.
it looks like you can play all over the field. And my career was not as distinguished as yours. I played a couple years of indie ball, and what I've came to find out in indie ball is that there was always a spot for a utility guy, right? If you can handle the bat a little bit, if you could be a 200, 220 guy, but if you can play all around the field, there's value for you. You don't get released as easily, like the manager loves you. But you're unique. I mean, I don't want to, if you think utility is a bad term or negative term, that's not what I'm saying here, but I'm saying it as a positive.
Right.
But you're like a unicorn utility guy is how I see it, because you can absolutely mash. Like, you have the bat to be in the lineup every day, but can play all over the field. Can you speak to how important being a utility guy has been in your career?
Yeah, I mean, it got me on the field. I think it got me I was able to move up. So I'll go backwards a little bit. I played
Sure.
infield when I was a kid,
Yeah.
and then in high school, you go to high school tryouts. I wanted to play varsity. My school was only about 1,000 people.
Hmm.
Show up, there's 30 shortstops and there's 5 outfielders. So I'm just doing the math in my head. I'm like, well, if I go play outfield, I got a better chance
Right.
because I'm a freshman. There's a lot of older, talented players in front of me. So I just jog out to the outfield, played center field for the next 4 years, and then went to college. Kind of the same thing happened. Went to center field. I'm like, well, there's 8 center fielders and only 1 right fielder. Let me go over there.
Really?
Slide over to right field. I played there probably like 2 years.
Yeah.
I went to third base and then went back to the outfield, but played shortstop my senior year. And then I was drafted as a shortstop.
Well, how do you make that switch from you didn't even play high school shortstop to now you're a
Correct.
college shortstop? That's interesting.
Yeah, they just asked me, I think it was early on. It might have been end of freshman year or sophomore year. I can't really remember. It was like, hey, can you play a little third? We need some
Fill a
help
hole
in the
for us.
infield. I think we had a couple injuries or something was going on. I was like, yeah, sure. That was kind of my attitude, just moving around,
Yeah.
playing different positions my whole life anyway. So I did that, and they're like, "Oh, you actually are pretty solid over there."
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. Like, I don't
Sure.
suck. That's great. And then, yeah, I just moved to. I think it was junior year. Was I played short, and then I broke my hand, and then got drafted as a shortstop, only
Yeah.
really having like a full year
Right.
of shortstop under my belt. So I show up and I knew I wasn't as polished as the other shortstops. So that's where I was like, let me just try to move around a little bit because I knew the footwork for other positions,
Yeah.
first and outfield and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm more valuable than getting stuck behind some mega prospect shortstop.
Right.
So I did that. And then I think it helped. I would say it helped more than it hurt, definitely. When there was a need for a first
Yeah.
baseman, but I was playing left field, a level below that, I moved up. Now I did a little bit of up and down, but we'll get into that, I'm sure.
So you were never stuck on a position like I'm a center fielder. This is who I am. This is my path. It was how do I get in the lineup essentially.
Yeah, I mean, as a kid, I feel like you just are put into whatever mold you fit.
Yeah.
As a kid, if you run really fast, you're not going to be a catcher,
Right.
not going to be a first baseman.
Right.
Now, there are great athletes at those positions, but usually they move a little later on,
Yeah.
and that's okay. But
For sure.
yeah, I just followed kind of just like play short because you're good when you're younger, and then, oh, we'll play center field. I never really had like this strong desire to like, I need to play one position.
Right.
I'm the
Right. That's me.
whatever. So I just wanted to be in the lineup and hit.
That's what do you think is your best, strongest position?
Oh man, it's changed over the years. I think I was a better outfielder 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Definitely. Might have been a little quicker. Wasn't old, but I'm kidding. Right now I would say
Yeah.
or I still think I can play a good second base, but third or corner outfield.
Okay. For sure.
I played first a good amount this year.
I saw that.
Had some leg issues because I broke my knee in half.
Broken kneecap issues.
Yeah, well, broke knee in half a little over 13 months ago, 14 months ago. But
It's been broken that long. I know you said that there was a story behind that.
yeah, I broke it. I filed a 95-mile-an-hour cutter off, broke it in half, and then the whole off season tried to get it back to normal.
Yeah.
And then the kind of like not, I think it was a re-injury, a stress fracture. I was
Yeah.
told in middle of July this year. So
Okay.
I wasn't moving tremendous, but I could still swing. So
Obviously, you can still swing it. Okay. Um, and we'll get to all that. Okay. So this is unlike how I usually do it. Just wanted to ask that question out of the gate. Typically, we start at the very beginning and build, build, build. And I think we've got a couple parts here. So we're going to go for about 2 hours today and see where we get. But when I say start at the beginning, I mean start at the beginning of.
beginning
So
of
we're
my
going to
life.
say we'll start at what is your earliest memory of baseball?
Earliest memory. Um, I would say when I got my first bat and my first glove.
Hmm.
I think I was, I don't know, 4 or 5. I don't
Yeah.
remember. The first glove that I can remember, my dad had them behind his back, and I saw them, and then I had to pretend that I didn't see them. I had to act surprised, but I was super pumped about that.
Yeah.
And I do remember the bat was called the Hammer.
The hammer.
The glove was a Mizuno,
Yeah.
but on the side it said Max Flex.
Hmm.
And at the time, all the gloves that were coming out, I don't know if it was a new thing, but it was new to me, were like signature series, like it said Derek Jeter or Ken
Right.
Griffey Jr.,
Yep.
and it'd have their name on the side.
Hmm.
And I thought Max was someone's name.
Who's this Max Flex? Gotta look him
I
up.
asked my dad, who's Max Flex? And he's like, and we're in the car, and he goes, oh, he was one of the greatest pitchers to ever play. So for how many years I thought that was a real person. Really, it's just like the glove is flexible.
What a classic dad move there.
Yeah. It's funny looking back on it for sure.
That's hilarious. Speaking of your dad, then, a lot of times there is an athletic background, a history, for guys like yourself. Either dad was a big time baseball player, or it's in your genes. What kind of athletic history do we have throughout your family?
I came from a baseball family. My dad's dad played a lot of baseball back in his day.
Mhm.
My dad played a little bit. He played golf in college.
Where at?
Um, Taylor University, a small
Okay.
school in Indiana. My brother played. baseball. So, I mean, we all loved baseball and played it. And I feel like my family was pretty knowledgeable. Like even my grandpa was, to his final days, was complaining about, different little tiny things like why are they playing infield in? And he's 92 years old, stuff like that. But um, yeah, I come from a baseball family. My dad didn't play professionally. I don't have that luxury that some
Hmm.
people have, but
Right.
but
Okay.
yeah.
Then let's go to Little League then. Do you have any memories from Little League? Anything stand out? Any good stories? Like what kind of Little Leaguer were you?
I don't know if I was undersized, but I hit for power, which I think surprised some people because the
Hmm.
guy hitting behind me most of my little league career was he ended up being an offensive lineman for the Florida Gators,
Oh, okay.
and I believe he played in the NFL a little bit, maybe practice squad type of thing.
Do we got a name there?
Mason Halter,
Okay.
if you want to Google that.
Sure.
So he was 6 foot when we were 9. It felt like
Right.
I think he was actually 6 feet tall when we were 12.
Okay.
And I was like 5'0", not dangerous looking at all,
So could pop it.
but I was hitting home runs.
Really?
So yeah, it was fun. Um, as far as memories, I just remember hitting some home runs and winning a lot of games.
Yeah.
When I was 9, I remember a walk-off double. That was like my first, where you feel like you're floating. You're a
Yeah.
little
Hmm.
game's on the line, everybody's nervous, and then
Yeah. One of those things that stands out.
you come through and it's just like pure euphoria.
Oh, I love that.
So
So when did baseball start becoming a passion for you? Something that you really like zeroed in on?
as long as I can remember,
Really, as a
I mean,
young
I
age?
played other sports. My brother and I would play other sports, but we would usually play baseball for the longest period of the year,
Yeah.
you know, spring until fall. And I remember I used to get upset at him when he would bring out a football because he thought it was football season. I was like, what are we doing?
Still baseball?
Right.
Okay.
So, but as far as a passion, like I know I always loved it. I played basketball. Basketball and baseball were the two sports,
Yeah.
in high school, and then I played a little golf too.
Okay.
I golf opposite-handed, so I was never super
Really?
s I golf righty, I hit left-handed, so
Interesting. How did that happen?
my dad did it, and he said, "You can do it. I don't wanna buy lefty clubs." So yeah, it took me about 2 weeks to figure it out, and then I was decent enough.
That's crazy. Speaking of, I like to ask this because a lot of people, my relationship with my dad was heavily formed around baseball, and me pursuing that passion and him, supporting it, throwing me BP, hitting fly balls, ground balls, support, advice, being there, all that stuff. Similar, or what is the relationship between you and your dad in baseball? Are they all connected in a way?
It's connected. I think the practice and, like, the playing in the yard and all that stuff, playing catch was my brother's 3 years older than me, so I
Okay.
always had him to do that. I'm sure my dad did it. I don't have any specific memories like, "This is when my dad and I played catch," but
Right.
he was really good at the mental side. I think that
Huh.
from the golf background, like, even when I was a kid, 11, 12, 13, it was like, "Why are you getting upset?" Be a little mentally tougher, and I
Mhm.
think that really helped when I got older. I mean, at the time it helped, but when I got older, it helped just processing at bats and
Sure.
thinking the game and trying to be looking at it more as a chess match and not rock'em sock'em robots.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh,
I
yeah,
like that.
that was the best thing that we had going on
A
between my
chess
dad and
match and not Rock'em Sock'em Robots. That's terrific. When did I mean things are obviously way different these days. You're obviously doing a bunch of coaching out there. What was travel ball like for you? When did it start? Anything like that?
Yeah, that's something I like to talk about this because it seems so crazy now. Travel ball for me was we would just travel to different cities. It
Mhm.
wasn't like we're traveling to California when we're 8 years old.
Right.
We went to different cities. I played 30 games when I was 9, played like 30 when I was 10. Um, we just
Not 90 or 120, and traveling all across the country.
No, I mean, we played when I was 12, we started playing a lot more games. But I think, that's kind of where it's like, let's get a little more serious because we're putting some money into traveling and all of
Sure.
that. I feel like that's also an age where people stop playing like 8 different sports. It's probably narrow it down to like 2 or 3.
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense
But
to me. Okay. And then, well,
yeah.
do you have thoughts on the state of travel ball these days? Then.
Yeah, I think it's too expensive. I think I think there should be the ability to just play recreationally. There's
Yeah,
not. I feel like maybe playing rec is frowned upon now,
it
where
is
like
now. Right. Yeah.
maybe it's a parent thing, like, well, my kid's playing travel baseball. It's like, well, he doesn't need to.
Right.
Maybe it makes you feel good. Maybe if he loves it, great. And if he's good enough, great. But I think there's so many people trying to make some money and saying it's travel ball, let's go travel here and there. And I just feel
Yeah.
like it adds up and it's very expensive. And it may turn some people away
Hmm.
from baseball where who knows, maybe they could have been great, but it's just too
Absolutely.
expensive for the parents.
For sure. I'm not quite there yet. I've got a 6-year-old daughter, and we just wrapped up T-ball, and like there actually is an option to jump into like a 7U coach pitch travel softball organization. And I'm like, what are we doing here? I'm not doing that yet. Like, we're years off from even considering this right now. Like 7U travel softball sounds ridiculous. Coach pitch softball.
Yeah. There's one
So,
one more thing I was thinking of about the travel ball stuff.
mhm.
When I played, I sound old, but we didn't keep stats. There were no stats. I don't like my freshman year of high school, I don't even know what I hit.
Like no clue.
And the only reason anyone knew later was like, "Oh, it was in the newspaper one time." Like,
Right.
I don't it's very bizarre to me when, the stats of an 8, 9, 10-year-old are like, "His OPS this year." It's like,
His
let him have fun,
OPS.
he's a kid. Like, let him just have fun. If he hits the ball hard, great. We don't it's not it's cool, I guess, to track it and all that, but let's just lighten up a
Braylon's
little.
War is, 9 points. Like, what are we
Right.
talking about here?
I think there's some freedom as a kid especially to not know your numbers. Like,
Sure.
what does it mean if I'm 10 and it's like, "You're only hitting 360?" It's like, "Okay." Like,
Right.
"What are we having after the game for dinner?" Like,
Right?
where's the snack?" Like, it needs to be a little more geared towards having fun.
I totally agree with you, man. When did I love asking guys this, and I've always been kind of fascinated because I it's not the answer I expect, but when did pro ball become the goal for you, if it did, or did it just organically kind of happen?
Um, just organically happened. I just loved baseball, loved doing it. I was good as a kid, so it made it more enjoyable.
Hmm.
It's just something I always wanted to do. And the reality of like, oh, I can play professionally, I don't think that came until later, but always wanting to do it
Okay.
was
When did it become a reality for you? Like, okay, I think this is in the cards for me.
definitely during college,
Yeah.
not before then.
Okay.
Just being from the area I'm from, it's pretty rare to get drafted as a high schooler.
Hmm.
You have to just throw 100 or do something
Right.
crazy.
Something astronomical.
Position guys, I don't even know. I can't name any. Maybe a yeah, but
Okay. Then let's move on to your high school stuff then. Um, were you a 4-year starter? Did you play some freshman JV? Like, how did this go for you? Let's start at the
my
beginning.
so my brother was a senior, I was a freshman. So
Okay.
that my goal was like, I got to be on the same team as him. That would be awesome. So I did. I played one game of JV, and then I got moved up to varsity, and then I was
Beautiful.
started there for 4 years.
Okay. So then
So
right off the bat on varsity. So not a late bloomer, like college attention wise. When did you start hearing from schools?
junior, I think it's junior summer at the time they were able to talk to us.
Yeah.
I had gone to like one, maybe two showcases, which that whole deal is different too. There's people going to like 20 different events and showcases, and
Yeah.
those were all just getting started at what was it, 15 years ago, just
Yeah.
about. So yeah, I went to like one or two of those. Junior summer, I had a few schools called. Dayton called, Eastern Michigan, um, Wright State. A couple of them took their offers away
Do you know why?
before. Yeah. Well, one of them was, yeah, we just signed a couple pitchers. The other one was, I wasn't fast enough. And
Hmm.
then I was like, well, wouldn't you know that before, you know? But anyway, and
Yeah,
then it came down to I just had, like, kind of 1 offer, 1.5 offers, and I just took it.
really.
Miami.
So did you go on a visit there?
Yeah.
How was that
I
visit?
visited Say that again?
How was that visit? And yeah, where else did you visit?
The visit was cool. I liked the campus. I didn't have any desire, like, academically. I didn't know what I wanted to do
Right.
with school. I just know I knew I wanted to play baseball.
Sure.
So I wanted to go somewhere where I actually had a legitimate chance to play professionally. I didn't want to go to a school that just never had any draft picks.
Right.
So that was there, and then I wanted to play for a coach that I liked. Not really I liked, but I thought was a good coach, a good leader type of thing.
Who was the
Uh,
head coach there at Miami when you were there?
Dan Simons was there.
Okay. And then
I
I
believe
gotta
he left.
tisk you a little bit because I remember asking you, do you know who Justin Knadler is? And he was a fifth round pick out of Miami, Ohio in like 2000, early 2000s. You didn't know it though,
No, I
right?
mean, probably a little before my time. I knew Adam Eaton because he was
Yeah, sure,
Adam Eaton. He was in the show by the time I got there, I'm pretty
sure.
sure, but or maybe right when I got there.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard of a bunch of and in my defense, I never really watched college baseball
Who does? I mean, like,
before then.
sure.
Some people love it, but I never watched it before. I don't watch it now much.
Hmm.
I mean, if I'm working with some guys, I'll obviously check on how they're doing,
Yeah,
but all I watched was the best
yeah,
show.
for sure. That's how I feel too. So Miami felt like a fit, felt like you could maybe go there and play, maybe they go there and if you played well, move on professionally. That's how you
Right.
felt? Okay. So then let's say we're just moving on there then. Getting there as a freshman, how did that feel for you? You feel overwhelmed,
Um,
like you were ready to go? Like, where you
I
at?
had no idea if I was gonna be the worst player on the team or the best.
Yeah,
I had played against some guys like, "Oh, that guy's going D1," but I didn't really have any clue as to, like, where I matched up
yeah,
with everyone, and I was pleasantly surprised, I think. Like, I got on the field, took batting practice, and played some games, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm definitely not bad compared to
yeah,
these guys."
right.
So and some of my tools stood out even as a 170-pound freshman, so that was cool.
What do you feel like your best tools are or the loudest?
At the time, throwing strength was the
Mhm.
best. I think even up to the draft, that was technically my best, but I knew I could hit. I knew I could hit for some power.
Yeah,
I think my glove developed later because
okay.
of the move back to the infield, but yeah,
Yeah,
I think just hit tool and throwing was
and,
just
like,
throwing.
I'm looking at a strong freshman year here, man. I mean, 44 games, 148 at bats, you hit 318, 7 doubles, 3 triples. I mean, I think a lot of guys would love to have that for a freshman year, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I struggled the first month. I know I struggled really bad the first month because I broke my wrist in the fall. Like one of the last games of the fall, I dove and actually collided with another guy diving. The second baseman dove into me, and I was playing right field, and I dove into him.
okay.
I thought my back was broken. I think his head hit my back.
Really?
And I was like, I think my back's broken. And it turns out I broke my wrist. My back was fine. Well, there was a contusion or whatever. But
Yeah.
so my whole off season of freshman year, I couldn't hit.
So you didn't go, like, play in some summer league or anything like that?
Well, the winter, I'm saying.
Okay. Oh, the winter.
The
Gotcha. Okay.
the winter freshman year, like I
Oh,
had
yeah,
wrist
that would be a huge
surgery.
hindrance. Can't hit at all over the winter? That's crazy.
Yeah. So I showed up to after winter break and I'm like still in pain swinging.
Mhm.
And I'm doing the math. I'm like, all right, we got 3 weeks till the first game. Who
Right.
knows if I'll be playing, but I was still in pain. Season starts. I'm in there. Game one.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. And I struggled definitely for like the first month,
Yeah.
which is really only what, 12, 13 games? What's three? Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not that much. It seems
Seems
like a
about
lot.
right.
Uh,
Yeah.
and then I started hitting better. Yeah.
Okay. And then, so obviously a strong freshman year. Obviously you belong. How was it, getting with a strength and conditioning program, anything like that? You got anything there? So we were kind of wrapping up a strong freshman year here. You were dealing with a hand injury right before coming into it. Do you feel like that affected your power that year?
Yes. I think that affected my whole swing because I was doing a
Yeah.
lot of only swinging with my right arm.
Okay.
And then when I finally was able to put two hands on the bat, I felt like I was in outer space. I felt like I was hitting opposite
Interesting.
handed. I was like, this isn't
Yeah.
good.
And
Um, I think also like it just the weather gets warmer. I'm a little healthier,
sure.
not traveling 10 hours to go have 10 at bats and it's everything's the end of the world. Like
Yeah.
a little more consistency.
So let me ask you this. You obviously become a hitting coach, your HLP guy. When did like the mechanics, the nuances of the swing start becoming really interesting to you? Like were they at this age or did that develop a little later?
I think I was always interested in different mechanical things in college. We didn't really video our swings
Right.
that much. I have like maybe 3 videos from all of college,
Same.
Like I didn't have a smartphone till it's funny I call it a smartphone. Like even saying that, like I didn't have that till sophomore year and I sure couldn't take good video with it. So
Right.
I think I was just interested in the things that don't really matter, like a toe tap or a leg kick or this
Yeah.
or that. Like what matters is what's going on under the hood.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand that at the time. I was just trying to hit the ball really hard and
Yeah.
I knew different ways I'd feel like I could hold how I was loading up and this makes me feel like I'm falling over,
Yeah.
but it was just a ton of reps.
Yeah. And that would have been kind of the era when like the swing change really kind of came around, or like the swing revolution where guys were really starting to tinker in it and understand it more and get it in the air and think about stuff like that. Like I remember everyone trying to copy Donaldson around that time.
Yep.
Like he had all that movement, and whatnot. Like everyone falsely used to think that, or a lot of people thought leg kicks, were for power back in the day, or around that
Right.
era. I remember messing with it myself and being like, okay, I'm going to hit more bombs this way, but just really throwing off my timing more than anything. But okay, interesting there. So then when or did you guys have some kind of a hitting guy there that you felt like you were learning from, or how did that go or were you learning on your own, or how'd that go?
I mean, we had a hitting coach in our I ended up getting a new head coach the next year. But the hitting coach stayed the same.
Okay.
He was good. As far as like he was great with approach and general type things. Like any hitting coach, I think certain hitters are easier to figure out or help.
Yeah.
I think I was kind of an anomaly. I had a lot going on with my swing, but I was
Really,
still
like a lot of
pretty
movement.
low, a lot of movement, pretty low on strikeouts, and that didn't make any sense
Hmm.
because of all of what was going on. My head was
Right.
moving around, had a giant leg kick when I showed up, but I still did well. So it was like, let's just leave him be.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until I struggled where I was like, hey, let's cut down, let's do this and this. But I still had a lot of movement
Yeah. So
and I was a
knowing what you know
momentum.
now, let me ask you this: knowing what you know now, what did you like about your college swing?
What did I like about my college swing? The intent. That's it.
Okay,
The
that's it.
intent. I think I didn't get cheated. I wasn't just swinging to swing, but like I swung with a purpose.
Yeah.
And I think that's what got me to do pretty well with a
Okay.
bad swing, with what I
Gotcha.
would consider today as a bad swing. Obviously, coordination, strength, that helps, but I think just the intent.
Yeah. Okay, I'm with that. So then after your freshman year, I only got you for 2 years of summer ball here, from what I can find on Baseball Reference and Baseball Cube. Did you go anywhere after your freshman year?
Freshman year, I remember I went to a Myrtle Beach league for 2 days and then I
Really?
left because it was played on softball fields with portable mounds. And I was like, nope, this isn't it. This is not what we're doing. So then I went home,
That's
I wanted
great.
to get a lot stronger anyway.
Okay.
I wanted to take I played at home, but it wasn't a ton. It was like maybe 20, 30 games. But
Hmm.
I spent pretty much the whole day working out, trying to get stronger. I put on 20 pounds that summer.
Oh wow.
Um, so yeah, I showed up sophomore year feeling like I at least looked like a pro or closer to it.
Yeah, getting your body there.
Freshman year, I looked like a kid.
Any secrets in terms of gaining the weight there? Like, what were you eating? Anything like that?
Just a ton of food.
Yeah, much as you
I
can,
just like
shoveling in.
eating I like eating, just things that aren't synthetic, you know?
Yeah,
If it existed in, like, 1900, then I'd say it's good for me
I'm with that. I'm with that.
or close to it, but,
Okay.
yeah, just eating a
So
lot, working out a lot.
so added weight, a strong freshman year, coming back into your sophomore year here, 289, three pumps, three doubles, four triples. And anything stand out from this year?
I thought that was a down year. I didn't love how I played that year.
Okay.
I thought I got I mean, I don't know because I can't look at it, but I thought kinetic chain-wise, I was just swinging and, like, falling over every time.
Mm,
Now I was swinging harder maybe, but I knew my swing wasn't right that year.
okay.
That was to me, that was really underperforming.
Gotcha. And obviously, the conference is going to have a more sophisticated scouting report on you at this time too, and how they're
Right.
trying to attack you and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean,
Would you agree?
I don't think I mean, at that level, I don't think they can really you can't really execute your plans to a T anyway.
Sure.
There's mistakes made where you know, I should have hit not looking back, it's like, I should have hit 30 homers. Well,
Right.
I should have hit, over 300 with double digit home runs.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then,
I
from what I see, is look like you went to the Prospect League, Chillicothe.
Chillicothe, yeah.
Yeah, Chillicothe. So that you would have played where I'm in Springfield, Illinois. So you would have made a pilgrimage here to play the would it have been the Sliders at the time?
I think we did do that. I don't remember how those games went, but I
Yep.
do remember being there.
You would have been here, but a strong summer, man. 268, six pumps, 12 doubles. No, six. Sorry, six pumps, six triples, 12 doubles. I mean, you had a summer, my man.
Yeah, I got a little hitting instruction from a guy. I don't know if he was coaching at Ohio State or if he was just from that area. I can't remember, but he kind of got me to use my legs better. I guess
Mhm.
I think it was more consistent. I felt like I could actually get the bat through the zone instead of just in and out.
Okay.
It was nowhere near HLP, but
Right.
it was better for me at the time
Any
than what I was doing.
Okay. Now, how was that summer in terms of like, did you have like a decent host family, or where'd you stay, or any worthy stories or anything like that?
I don't want to get anybody in. I had a crazy experience with the host families.
Let's go.
Well, I'm not going to say any names here, but I
Okay,
was
leave
in
the
a
names out.
trailer. I was in a trailer with five other people, and then left there and went to a house where I was told that the person, one of the people living there, wasn't comfortable with having people living there. So then I had to leave there and I ended up meeting a tremendous human being in my third stop of host family, but he was awesome.
This is all the
But yeah,
same summer?
same summer. Yeah, that was like the same week and a half that all happened.
Man, everyone that has played ball that's, been through the college prospect leagues and indie ball in the minor leagues has had some interesting host families for sure. So we'll
Yeah.
touch back on that. So, you have anything else on that, or just that was
You
your
run into
experience?
some really good people and you run into some characters. I'll say that.
Dude, I had one host family in indie ball that had no internet, no AC, and like essentially no food. I was like, what are we doing here? Like I was
Yeah.
knocking on the neighbor's door, like, can I please try to get your internet? And like
Wow.
it was rough.
You were just
So then
living in
what's
a
what
shed,
yeah,
sounds
what's
like.
right, man. Let's move on to your um junior year here then. So 330, two bombs, four triples, seven doubles. Clearly there's an injury in here, and you already talked about it a little bit. Let's hear a little bit about your junior year here. What you got?
I think I was getting stronger as a hitter,
Mhm.
able to hit the ball backside a little better at that time. Slowed the game down. Um, I think I had a pretty good group of people as far as my college roommate was a very good hitting mind. My hitting coach, I just slowed everything down. I was driving the ball. I had a very good start. I think I was at 330 if I remember right.
Mhm.
Hit a couple balls really far and then broke my hand. Got smoked in the hand at we were playing at Louisville or Louisville. How do you say?
Louisville. That's how they say it.
Yeah, there it
That's
is.
how they say it.
Louisville.
Louisville. Gotta say
Yeah.
it like that.
Um, got hit in the hand and broke my hand and then missed the rest of the season there. I appealed for a red shirt. I was hoping to get a red shirt that year because I was only like
24
22
games.
games in. 24, is that what it says?
Sorry, 24 games. Yeah.
Yeah. I know there's a few, there's like 3 qualifications for getting a red shirt
Yeah.
medically.
Were you just
And
over?
I believe I met 2 of them, but
Okay.
one of them was percentage of games played compared.
Right.
Because so if my team had played more games, I think I would have got it.
Gotcha.
Is how I understood it. But anyway, broke my hand. I didn't need surgery. No, I was just in a cast.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And then when I got out of the cast, we figured out that I also had a broken finger the whole time.
Really?
So that was great. Yeah. Had to go in.
Well, that's
My
interesting.
hand was free. My hand's moving around the whole time. And then it's like, oh, hey, my ring finger really hurts compared to the
Something's
other
not right
ones.
here.
And
Well,
then did another x-ray. It's like, yeah, that's broken actually.
man, I'm
It's been broken.
fascinated that you had these kind of injuries because this is your summer is absolutely insane that you have after this. I can't wait to talk about this. Like the
Yeah,
numbers from this
that's a
are
good one.
bonkers. So you go out to the Coastal Plain, which is a very strong league, playing for the Edmonton Steamers here. These stats are
Edenton, yeah.
nuts, dude. 403 batting average, 769 slugging, 465 on base, 16 homers, 12 doubles, dude. 186 at bats. What was going on there, man? That's a different ball player.
Yeah, that's a good one. So, broke my hand. I wasn't able to swing. I think we had a day of BP and meet the team, meet the fans maybe, I don't remember, but I took BP that day. I was like, "Dang, my broken finger still hurts pretty bad."
Yeah.
And then we had maybe one other day, and then it was just, "All right, first game." So, the story of the first game is actually great.
Let's go.
I love that one. So, David Bednar, who was on the Yankees, closer, right?
Yeah.
He's a starter at the time. He's on the team, on my team. Our bus breaks down on the way to the first game. We show up, I think it was like 20 minutes before the game started
Hmm.
because we had to switch buses and all that. And the team at the time, Wilmington Sharks, they were like, no, we got to start on time. So we had no time at all. We're like, all right, so the pitcher's just doing this on the way out. Bednar's going out there. First inning, he's like 80, 82. Second inning, he's like 85, 87. Third, and he just kept climbing the ladder. By the 5th inning, he was up to full speed and he's just throwing a million.
Yeah.
And we ended up winning and it was hilarious. But yeah, that whole summer, I took the least amount of swings I've ever taken.
Really?
My finger was hurting for like it, and I don't know, still broken or whatever, but it was in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
And I would take I would take one swing per round, maybe 2 if I was feeling a little frisky that day. But
Really?
I would take, so we got 4 rounds of BP, I'm taking 4 swings.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that just dialed me in as like mentally, like let's see the ball. It's instead of just swinging to swing.
All right. These are the only swings I have. Let's make these count.
Yeah. And then in the game, I felt super locked. I
Yeah.
couldn't miss a barrel. I don't, it sounds crazy. Like I felt like I didn't miss a fastball the whole season. Like
Yeah.
one of those, like I should have hit that. Like I felt like I got all of those.
Yeah.
It was
I mean,
crazy.
I haven't looked it up, but I imagine some of those have to still be records in the Coastal Plain. Do you have any knowledge of that? That batting
I
average has got to be up there, man.
Yeah, I think
It's
maybe in like a
ridiculous.
COVID season or some other season, the batting average was beaten, and I think the home runs may have been, but no one's done both.
Yeah.
No one's
Not
done. I don't think the total bases will ever be beaten. And
so
that
there was
sounds maybe that sounds conceited, but I
no,
you can look
dude.
it up.
I mean, it's
And
it's for those of you that don't know, it's very common for guys to go, playing college ball with metal bats to go, struggle some with wood, or at least your batting average is very easily 50 to 100 points less typically than it was when you were playing with metal bats. So a lot of guys you see 250s in that range in summer ball, even low twos a lot. So for you to hit 400 in a prospect league with a wood bat is absolutely nuts. So there was no mechanical changes, no how you were looking at the ball, your process, nothing like that. Just more
um,
focused reps.
I was just doing less. Yeah, I
Interesting.
showed up. I forgot how I stood. I forgot what I was thinking in the
Yeah,
box. I forgot it had been 3 4 months, I think, since I had played.
right.
So I just stood there and tried to move as little as possible because I didn't think I was going to be able to be on time
Yeah,
because I hadn't seen live pitching.
right. So you
So I just
eliminated
stood
some of those
there,
big movements.
eliminated all of the big
Oh
movements.
shit, there it is.
Yeah. And then the first game I was 2 for 3. I think I hit a double backside, and I was thinking like, "Oh, man, I hit that pretty good," and I felt like I wasn't loading up.
Really,
I was just standing there like a statue, a little bit of move, bang. And then that was the whole summer. Just
really
stand there and get the barrel on the ball and it'll go. So,
interesting. Obviously, you
work
found something special there. Were you getting pro attention at this point?
yes, I
How'd that
was.
go?
I was trying to sign as a free agent, actually,
Really?
and that didn't
Tell me about
happen.
that.
I just had talked to a few alleged agents or
Alleged?
so-called agents, not agents, whatever they were, advisor, some type of
Yeah,
person I thought could help me with getting signed, and that didn't happen. I had a few scouts at games like, "Hey, you look pretty good. Keep it up,"
yeah,
but nothing like, "Oh, I'm gonna sign next week and I'm gonna forego my senior year," and stuff like
right.
that.
But obviously, after a year or a summer like this, you have to believe that pro baseball is in your future. Like this is where you're headed, right?
Right. Yeah. Because a good amount of those guys were from the South where typically
Yeah,
there's better baseball.
for sure.
So I was like, okay, like I'm doing this against not just the MAC or teams
Right.
in the North, like I'm doing this against some pretty good arms.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah. I mean, I believed it before then, but that was like, all right, that should definitely help me.
And Coastal would have probably been like a top 5 summer league at that time, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There was there
Just a tier
was
below
Cape
like Cape.
Cod,
Yeah, Alaska,
and then
right?
you had Cape, Northwoods, Coastal Plains,
Yeah.
Alaska. I think,
Those 3 are kinda like all interchangeable, wouldn't you say? Northwoods, Alaska, Coastal? That like just
yeah,
that tier just below the Cape, kinda?
yeah,
Yeah, for
I would
sure.
say, yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Beautiful, man. So then going into your senior year, you obviously had an explosion your junior year or in the summer, stats like you've never had in college. I have to imagine you're looking for those stats to repeat somewhat. And I mean, power wise, really strong senior year, 13 pumps, 8 doubles, two triples, 269. Take me through a little bit of your senior year. What stood out? What do you have any memories or anything like that?
On the field, I don't have a ton of memories as far as like we were pretty solid. We had a good group. I did not hit for the average that I wanted to.
Yeah.
If I really repeated what I did in the summer, I could have been, a very legitimate top whatever, top
Yeah.
5, I don't know, round.
Absolutely.
If you hit 400 with a home run every 3 games, like, you're gonna go pretty early.
Were you hitting the same, like with the same stance that you used that summer?
I was, but I wasn't because looking back, I had a feeling in my hip that I couldn't repeat. I had a feeling in my hip in the summer that was, like, kind of HLP-ish,
Yeah.
where
Coiling.
I was turning on the ball of my femur, but I didn't know it at all. And again,
Interesting.
didn't have video or much of
Yeah.
it. And I went to my senior spring, didn't have that feeling, still kind of would come back randomly.
Yeah.
Wasn't able to repeat it, and it was just pretty inconsistent, but I was still able to hit home runs. I think I was like 1 for my first 20.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
which was disappointing, but yeah, I mean, I still hit enough home runs, and I had some flashes of some really good things, and that's
Yeah.
ultimately what got me drafted.
Were you feeling the pressure at all of scouts coming around and telling you this or that?
I think so. I think nobody wants to admit that. But
Sure.
yeah, I was pressing. I don't know if I felt pressured by the scouts, but I just wanted to go crazy again to hit 400, and I
Yeah.
think I was putting an unrealistic goal ahead of myself because of what I had done that
That
summer.
summer. Yeah,
You know,
for sure.
instead of just taking my singles to left field like I should have, I was probably trying to hit the ball 600 feet,
Yeah.
and that doesn't work out much when you're actually trying to do that.
Yeah, and obviously the your conference would have been probably a lesser degree of competition than the coastal, right?
I
The
don't know.
MAC.
That year we had some guys,
You got some
we had
dogs.
some players,
Okay. Okay.
Eric Lauer, Zach Plesac, Keegan Akins. Those were all. I mean, two of those three were top.
For
I
sure.
think top two rounders.
Yeah. Let me ask
So
you this: that you talked about that feeling in your hip. That reminds me. I had a couple years in college or a year in college where I was figuring some things out, and I stopped listening to some hitting coaches or my hitting coaches, and was just feeling some things. And it's maddening now to think back because I was doing some HLP things that were just it just felt right to me. But then I'd
yeah,
get in there in the cage and they'd be like, "What are you doing? Like, you can't do that." I'm like, I was like,
that's
"But I'm hitting
ridiculous.
tanks right now. This feels so good." And they're like, "No, no, no. You need to be down." Like
What down?
it's maddening to think back on. I don't want to make this about myself, but I totally get
Yeah,
what you're saying there. I would love to hear about the draft process and how did that go? What were you being told? What were you expecting?
yeah. We had a scout day and at college, so that was kind of the first like big chance for teams to just hand you a questionnaire, fill it
Yeah,
out. So, and that went well for me. I got some questionnaires and stuff like that after. So I felt good about the number because usually when you have, one team or two teams interested, it's probably not a good sign.
right.
I had I think it was about 15.
That's a good sign.
So that was cool.
Yeah,
That made me feel a little better about the whole thing. But
sure.
yeah, I filled out the papers. I didn't have much contact with anyone directly. I just
Mhm.
would email people back or literally mail some letters back, which I'm sure they don't do anymore.
Right.
And yeah, and then I just waited around, played the season, got a couple more during the season. Um, I thought I was going to go to, let's see, I had two pre draft workouts.
How'd those go?
One of them was with the Twins. I thought it went fantastic. I thought I was great at everything that day, like as far as what I could do. Threw well, I hit well, ran well. And then I went to Detroit for a Tigers pre draft workout. That one I didn't feel as good about. I knew I hit well, but I didn't think I ran well at all. I almost, it wasn't a great time. I ran a 6.9 there. I was like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's okay. But
What was your best ever?
a 6.8, I was consistently running 6.8.
Yeah, okay.
Um, Not super fast by any means, but like definitely not slow.
Solid. Yeah,
Yeah. Um, but yeah, that one went okay. I thought I did better at the Twins workout.
okay.
And then that was about it leading up to the draft. I remember not sleeping for about 3 days.
Feeling nervous?
Just
Yeah,
so anxious
sure.
because I didn't know. I was told some things, but I knew enough to not just, I shouldn't be naive and like, oh, yeah, well, the Rockies said eighth round, so let's have a
I'm
draft
going.
party.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to do that. So I was just kind of waiting around. And
Is that the
then
range that you were hearing? As low as that?
I heard 10 to 15. I know everyone hears all kinds of things. I heard 10 to 15 from one team. That wasn't I knew enough, I think, at the time to be like, that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah,
The only reason why I did that could be a possibility is because of the 10th round senior sign deal, where they take a senior to save some slot money so they can spend it
right.
on in a different spot.
Okay.
But yeah, so then led up to the draft. I remember I was told to call the Twins during the draft to tell them I was ready to be signed, which I thought was outrageous. I was so nervous. I'm a what am I, 22?
Right. I'm
And
ready
I'm
to
like,
sign.
wait, I'm supposed to call the team to draft me? Like, that's not how it works.
It's not how it works.
I'm pretty
No.
sure it was the Johnny Manziel thing was the year before. Was the
Oh,
text
where
Johnny
he called
Manziel,
like, "Hey,
hurry up and draft me?
he said, let's wreck the league." And he say something like that?
I thought he texted them and said, hurry up and draft me.
Yeah. "Hurry up and text me because I'm gonna wreck the league with the
Yeah.
Browns," or something like that. Obviously, that didn't go so well. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
But I was like,
Interesting.
wait, am I Johnny Manziel? Am I supposed to just tell them to draft me? Like, what's going on? So I remember calling the guy, just I'm shaking. I'm like,
So you
"All
did
right,
it?
I'll do it." So I call him and he doesn't answer. I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do. And then that was probably like the 20th round was going by. And by that time, it's just they're firing them off. They're
Yeah.
just picking names out of a hat, it feels like.
Right.
And yeah, I saw a bunch of people getting drafted that I had played against or I knew, and I was like, oh man, I'm just losing it. I remember I told my dad to go in a different room. I went outside. My mom, we're all in different rooms because we can't. It's just, you could feel the tension in the air. And then
That's
my
great.
dad was listening. This is how old timey, my dad is. He's listening on the radio, the draft
Right.
radio. He's
Oh,
not
that's
even looking
great.
at the screen.
Yeah.
And he hears my name on the radio. And then he's like, freaks out. And
Loses it.
yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Well, what that moment feel like to finally get your name called and like everyone's celebrating and like, take me there.
I mean, it's hard to explain. That was like the happiest moment, it's not about getting recognition or any of that, but it's like all of the hours and hours and hours and
Worth
hours
it.
was like, finally I can, you know, validate
Yeah.
if there was a need to validate the hours you put in. Like
Sure.
that was pretty cool.
Worth it. So then,
But
so what's after that then? Obviously, you're gonna get in touch with it with the organization. There's gonna be some talk of money, if at all, or is it just how'd that go?
oh, they had already asked if I could sign for $1,000.
Right. And you're like,
So
yep,
I
let's
knew I
do it.
was behind the eight
Yeah.
ball being a senior and not really
Yeah.
having a junior year and all of that. So I was like, yeah, sure. Just I don't care. Sign me and give me a plane ticket and we're good to go. So
Yeah. So
I ended up,
and
yeah, I signed for 1.5 thousand and got a plane ticket, got on my way to Lakeland, Florida.
I've never heard anyone say one that. That's perfect, dude. Yeah, I've got you here in rookie ball. Like you, it looks like you had some rookie ball and then some short season as well. But strong in rookie ball, 275, a couple bombs, 43 games. How was that first experience for you, getting there into pro ball and being like looking around and seeing all the other dogs there? And I'd love to take me there mentally where you were at when you showed up. I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, just so many people,
Yeah,
It was overwhelming because your whole life even when you're with a travel team, maybe there's like an organization practice and maybe there's like 50 people there. But you
right,
show up to a Tiger Town. There's so many people everywhere. You got
right.
a team here, everything going on. I was like, it's overwhelming. That's where I was like, all right, I gotta really be a utility guy and not just a shortstop. And oddly
Interesting.
enough, I played shortstop almost every game of rookie ball. So that
Yeah.
kind of backfired, but I was still playing. I was hitting leadoff, playing short. I was old compared to the rest of the guys I was playing.
Did they send you right to rookie ball, or was it one of those camps where they send all the draft picks for a week or two to kind of work out?
Oh no, I was in the GCL. I was at the
Right
lowest.
there, right into it.
This wasn't like advanced rookie.
Yeah,
This was right behind the cafeteria
yeah,
in Florida, with 6 different fields. Like our game's on field 3 today. That's where I
right.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then our short season was our like advanced rookie because at the
yeah,
time some teams had advanced rookie, some didn't,
right.
and we had just Connecticut. But I was only there for a second. Really,
But
I was there
obviously
for
you played well in rookie ball, so feeling like, hey
yeah.
man, I mean, jumping into pro ball, a lot of guys fall on their face when they first get there. They're nervous. They're using wood bats. There's other people that are really talented too. That obviously did not affect you in that same way. Where were you at mentally for this?
I was just, I mean, it's a lot different than you expect. Everyone um, tells you it's like this glorious thing, and it's
Yeah,
great. Like you're getting paid. Well, kind of.
Yeah.
I was getting paid $1,000 and I was giving half of that away to live in a dorm built in 19 whatever, but
Yeah.
it was great. I mean, I obviously was doing something I wanted to do, but
Yeah.
it was the schedule was tough in rookie ball for sure. We would have practice for 4 hours and then the game.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I was just enjoying it. I think something that helped me on the field was I could always hit velocity,
Interesting.
you know,
Yeah.
with even with the bad swing I had, like
Yeah.
maybe I had to sell out for it, but I was always able to hit. If somebody threw 98, 100, whatever, I was fine with it. I was like, I can hit that.
Interesting.
And
Okay.
in the GCL, anybody that's been to a GCL game, you're seeing a million miles an hour. Everybody throws a million and no one knows
And
where it's going.
no one knows where. That's I love that you said that because so many people don't recognize how hard it is to hit in the lower levels of the minor leagues when there's guys that have huge $1 million arms like that, but they don't know where the hell it's going. Versus when you get
Right.
later on, and they do know, so you can make more educated decisions as a hitter of like I'm looking in the zone. Is that accurate? Would you agree with me on some level?
Yeah. I think there's more mistakes made as far as like a hanging breaking ball, but
Yeah.
it is tough to hit when you got 97 behind your head and then you got dotted on the outside corner. You're like, all right, I just got to have no care in the world that I'm going to get ear hold the next pitch. Like that's how you have to go about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a big common misconception. It's like
Sure.
people think the higher levels, like, oh, well, they're throwing harder. It's like, no, they're throwing hard from your first game in the GCL. They're
Yep.
throwing 97, 99, whatever it is.
Yep.
It's just a matter of knowing where it's going.
Dude, I remember facing a guy in indie ball that threw 100, and I was like, "This is not good," because if he's like throwing 100 in indie ball, that and like he's in independent ball, like there is something very wrong going on here. And I was totally accurate. It was a terrifying experience. But
Yeah, we
um,
had a
what were the living conditions like there for you? You just made a comment about this like Tiger Town and stuff. That was ancient. I'd love to
brutal,
hear it.
brutal dorms that hadn't been touched in Lord knows how long. They were brutal. I mean, I have yet to hear a story like that one, like the one I got. But our living situation was horrible.
Yeah.
It was just a room, and the TVs were from maybe like the '90s with like a tiny little kitchen TV with like the bubble screen. TVs didn't work,
That's great.
so a lot of guys didn't have cars
Yeah.
because we just flew down as quick as we could
Sure.
from wherever. So I don't even have my car. So my buddies on the team, the ones we were rooming with 3 other people in this tiny little room.
Yeah.
We went and got bikes from a pawn shop.
Great.
So we're just riding. I had this cruiser with a basket in the front. I thought it was hilarious. So I'm
Debo.
riding that
Love it.
thing around. I was Debo. Not really, but yeah. So that was rookie ball, just like baking in the sun, playing games, riding our bikes around.
How
I
are
don't
you
know.
eating?
Uh, we were eating. we
What
were
were you eating? Yeah.
Yeah, it was cafeteria food. They made some
Okay.
improvements as the years went on.
Okay.
We were eating food. That's the best I can say. Yeah. It wasn't. I believe it's much different now, the way they do it.
We were eating. I wasn't ready for that one. That's good, man. You got a nice dry sense of humor that I appreciate. That's great, dude. So, so eventually they send you to short season, 7 games. What was your experience there?
Um, I don't know. I was trying to do too much.
Uh-huh.
In rookie ball, I had a routine. I had a hitting coach that I loved. Um, I think I got the short season. I was trying to prove something, and I just
Yeah.
was like over swinging, and I don't even know what I get 20 at bats. Just I hit.
Yeah, about 20
I
bats.
was thrown in there. I mean, I went after the GCL season was done, so I was only there for a couple weeks.
Yeah, short, just to get you a
So
little add on at the end of the season. So
yeah,
overall, I'd say a good strong experience, a good showing to the organization in your first year. Would you agree?
yeah, I thought I did well enough to not get released. That
Yeah.
was just not. I don't have a negative. I never had like a negative outlook, but I knew the
Yeah.
reality of being a late round pick. You have
Yeah.
one bad year, you're gone.
You're right. Yeah. Well
So
said. So was that something that was ever on your mind during your pro career? Like I'm about to get released or anything like? I felt that certainly, but I was not of your ilk.
Um, at times, I think
Yeah.
with the Tigers, the next season, yes, but
Okay.
there
Let's not go
wasn't.
there yet
Okay,
because this will be your first off season as a professional. So
okay,
how are
yeah.
you handling yourself? Are you doing an off season job? What's your strength and conditioning stuff looking like? What are you feeling like you need to, sorry, this is like a million questions. Let's start
No,
with
that's okay.
what was your off season job? What'd you do?
I went back to school
Okay.
because I had to finish school, so I didn't work all the crazy jobs until the next year. But I have
Okay.
some very good stories on that. I went back
Like
to school. I was working out. I couldn't believe how much time I had on my hands because that was the first time just taking classes and working out whenever I wanted to.
yeah.
I was like, "This is unbelievable. Like, I have time to do things. This
Yeah,
is
for sure.
crazy." I got A's. I was like, "Wow, I could actually do well in school." But did that, worked out. I think I went home, graduated in the winter of that.
With a degree in what?
It was in the School of Kinesiology, but it was sport management,
Oh,
but it
okay.
was
Interesting.
kinesiology. So it sounds fancier if
I'm
I
an
say
exercise science
kinesiology.
guy myself, man. That's my ball game as well. Cool. What were you thinking that you might do with that if baseball didn't work out?
Um, not sure. Not sure.
Perfect answer.
I always wanted to stay in baseball
Yeah.
or in some capacity, whether it
Okay.
was coaching or something. I actually like to write, and I tried switching to sports journalism. I thought
Interesting.
I thought that would be pretty cool, but then they told me it would take 6 years to graduate
Enough of that.
because it needed to be a double major, and I was like, "Well, I'm already gonna be 40 grand in debt when this is all over, so
Right.
let's not add on to that." So,
I
yeah, I
love
just
that.
graduated. I just got whatever would help me finish, you know, that was
Was
went
there
to school.
anything that you were particularly working on? And I imagine you still working out with the baseball team there in some
I
ways or using the
was
facilities?
Yeah, I was using the weight room. I was periodically, playing defense in inter squads
Oh,
with the
interesting.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I still knew everybody. I knew the coaches, so I didn't they asked me if I wanted to hit and do all that, but I didn't wanna risk, um, getting injured
Sure.
while hitting. I knew I could control defensively, like, I'm not gonna run into a wall or dive on my neck or something, but, like, hitting, I could easily get hit in the hand again. I think that was too fresh in my memory, so I didn't hit in the inter squads, but I just played short. Took a lot of ground balls, tried to get
Yeah.
better because I still wasn't up to par defensively. I was good, but I knew the guys that have been drafted as shortstops played there the whole life. I only
Right.
had a year.
That's
I only had
crazy.
a year, you know, so I needed
For
to
sure.
get better quickly.
Okay. So that I think that kind of rounds out our off season. Unless there's anything else you want to leave that you got for us.
No, I lived with a buddy of mine in a single bedroom apartment that used to be a chapel.
Oh, that's interesting.
They took a chapel, made it 2 different apartments. I slept on the floor on a mattress and he slept in the bed. So I felt like it kind of reminded me of like when I would sleep in the same room as my brother. Like I was this little brother just sleeping on the floor. Good night, and he's up there. It was funny. Typical, minor league off season type of
Absolutely,
stuff.
man. That sounds so typical. I'd love to hear. So first spring training, what was that like for you? Um, obviously tons of people there from everyone from rookie ball to the show. What was that like memory wise?
Overwhelming.
Yeah.
I remember a few of my teammates from rookie ball were like, "I'm done. This is it." Because I think you get there and you just see how difficult it's going to be.
Yeah.
You finally can get your head around like, oh, there's 12 guys at my position in front of me
Hmm.
until whatever level, AAA or the show. It's like
So
maybe more than
some guys feel beaten and discouraged by that. How did you feel?
well, I was already, it was already a long shot anyway. So
Yeah.
I was like, well, whatever,
Yeah.
I
So the
already
pressure
knew.
wasn't on you ever, really. Not
Well,
in that
I
way.
mean,
Like you weren't like a second round guy that everyone's like, he's destined to the for
right.
that kind of stuff. So like less pressure on
Yeah.
you than that is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was the third shortstop just taken in my draft,
Hmm.
um, from with the Tigers only. So I already had guys in front of me anyway. So it didn't bother me, no, like it did
Okay.
some people where they saw 250 players and they're like, "Oh, there's no way,"
Yeah.
and then they quit. But that first spring training was cool though. I mean, I got to sneak in the cage and watch some really good hitters. I
Who?
thought that was Miguel Cabrera, Justin
Oof.
Upton, Ian Kinsler,
Oh
like
man.
back when they had some bats. I mean, they have bats now, but different.
Can you take me through that memory at all? Does anything stick out from just watching them?
I got kicked out of the cage. Yeah, that was my memory. I
Really? They're like,
sat
you gotta
down. I
go.
sat down in the corner to watch some guys hit. I knew I was out of the way, and they're, "Hey, get out of here!" I was like, "Okay, my bad." I don't know what I wasn't. I didn't even have my phone. Like I wanted to watch some very good hitters and see what they were doing. Um,
And they weren't having it.
but yeah, there's a big. I mean, I don't know how it is now. I don't know how it was with their teams. I know some buddies of mine have shared similar stories where like there's a huge gap between minor league and major league. Like they don't want mingling. It's a strange dynamic. Um, it wasn't like I was running in the cage like, "Hey, Miggy, you're not doing this right." I was just sitting in the corner,
Yeah.
just wanting to
Interesting.
see what they did, you know?
Now, would you say overall, how do you feel like you were treated by the Detroit Tigers organization in your totality of your time with them?
Um, it's hard to say because there's so many different people. Some people I thought treated me great, some people not so much.
Okay.
I only would speak to like, the positives
Sure.
of certain guys that
Sure.
you notice who treats you the same as other guys depending on, how much money they have invested in
Who
you.
you are. Yeah. For sure.
I can't say they treated me poorly because they drafted me,
Yeah.
so nobody else did.
So how did you perform
Um,
that first spring training?
that first spring training, I don't even remember how I performed.
Really?
I do remember that I had a really bad oblique injury
Okay.
towards the end. I think I was doing all right. Um, the next spring training is much more memorable,
Okay.
but I had an oblique injury, I want to say maybe a week and a half before the teams were decided,
Hmm.
rosters came out. So then I was on the DL to go in. So I'm in extended, I'm in like the training room and everybody else is going
Yeah.
to their affiliates.
How long were you in extended for?
I know that was 5 weeks. So 5 weeks after that, I was cleared. And then I
West
think I
Michigan?
spent,
What? West Michigan, or where did
I
they send you?
actually, I went over to Lakeland to the high A team.
Okay.
I think just because I was available and I was there.
Yeah.
And on paper, it said I was 23. So it
Right.
was
So that's
like
where you probably
24,
should be.
whatever.
Yeah. Moving along.
I was like, oh, we can put this guy in. But I hadn't played anywhere but rookie ball and short season. So
Right.
yeah, so I showed up there. I don't know. I was 2 for 4 my first game. I thought it was awesome. And then I just struggled with being consistent.
I mean, you were only there for
Yeah.
5 games, so like there wasn't like a long showing or anything like that.
To me, it felt like a long show.
That was a long 5 games.
No, it was like I should do better. And then you look back at your numbers, you're like, oh man, I only had 2 hits, I think it was, or
Yeah.
3 hits, whatever it was. But
So then they make a change and send you to West Michigan for the Whitecaps.
yes, because I think I was supposed to start there anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
So I just hadn't because of the injury, the oblique injury.
Hey man, looks like a strong year there. I see 268, 11 home runs, 16 doubles, and 80 games and 272 at bats. You got to be pretty happy about that.
Yeah. Well, the first, I want to say almost 2 months were not good at all.
Tell me about it.
Like not playing every day by any means, not hitting well, just a strikeout machine. Um, I got confronted by someone, a coach within the Tigers, and it was like, "What are you doing? you're wasting your
You need to wake
time
up.
kind of thing. Yeah, and at the time I was like, I only have this many at bats. What is he saying? But it was it was a good thing. It was like finally somebody just like get it together, you know? I
Mhm.
wasn't, and it wasn't that I was not taking it serious or anything. It was just like you need to think differently.
What do you mean
That's
by that?
when I was at the plate. It wasn't
Okay.
just it wasn't I wasn't slowing the game down like I had previously in my life. I was like trying to speed up and figure out and play the guessing game instead of just let's just pay attention to what's happening in the game
Yeah.
and then keep everything very simple instead of trying to hit. I always say this when I'm giving lessons now too. It's like, okay, where are you trying to hit the ball?
Uh-huh.
Usually up the middle or through the opposite middle infielder. Okay, now how far? And I think over the fence. It's like, well, let's take those sights and bring them in. Now we can take our normal swing and not swing out of our shoes every time we swing the bat.
Yeah. Oh,
So
interesting.
I had a buddy that helped me with that kind of thing and helped with a little bit of like having some rhythm and just being a little more athletic instead of a robot.
Yeah.
And I started just trying to hit the ball at the shortstop instead of trying to blast one 5,000 feet.
Yeah.
Like, let's hit it at the shortstop. And then really those numbers all came from the end of July and August. I
You got
hit
hot.
eight home runs in August. I hit
Yeah.
really well. But yeah, I was at under 200 for a while
Really?
there. That's the moment where I was like, I'm going to get released.
Where are they playing you at?
I was at second,
Okay.
and I played a little bit of first.
Okay.
I think I played a little bit of third, and then oh, that's a good story too. That year,
Let's go.
we had a crazy brawl. This was the middle of, I want to say like middle of July.
Uh-huh.
We had, I'm sitting the bench. I'm like kind of coming out of hitting poorly. Like I'm kind of doing all right. Maybe it was after that. I don't remember, but um, huge brawl, bunch of guys ejected. I mean, we had both managers tossed. There's like 5 players on each side gone.
Yeah.
That was against Dayton. There was somebody threw a baseball. There was somebody else. There was a bunch of punches actually connected.
Ooh.
Yeah, you can look it up. It's on the news. You can, yeah, find that on. It's still on the internet. But
I'll have to look that one up. That was in Dayton. That's known as an awesome place to play, isn't it? Like a unique minor league experience. Like they're
yeah,
packed always.
Dayton Dragons. Yeah, they got a good spot there.
Yeah.
This is a nice little stadium. Very similar to like playing in West Michigan was awesome.
Okay.
The Whitecaps, that stadium and that fan base is incredible. We
How,
had way more fans there than a lot of other teams.
how was your living experience this year? Anything interesting there?
No, just I mean, good family.
Okay.
Nothing out of the ordinary. It was solid.
Now,
Thankfully, there were
mechanically, what
no
were you doing hitting wise? Anything that you remember that stands out?
that year. Just searching, and then finding some rhythm, and then obviously the trying to hit the ball at the shortstop. And that
Yeah.
by doing that, I actually was able to hit more home runs.
Now,
Um,
is that something that you continued on through your career? The trying to hit it at the shortstop
Absolutely. Yeah. That's still like to this
to this
day.
day?
Not every pitch, there's a little not every at bat, but yeah, that's
Okay.
definitely something I've kept for a very long time.
Okay. Well, you got to feel good about this year, man. I mean, strong stats. Any other stories or memories that you feel like sharing? Obviously, the organization probably feels pretty good about you at this point. A strong year. Like, did they tell you anything at the end of the year?
Um yeah, it was an organizational all-star.
Okay.
That was a big deal.
Yeah.
And they just said like, you know, good job, you've opened some eyes, or I can't remember how they worded it, but it was like, you know, I felt like I had solidified myself as
Yeah.
like a good player instead of just some late round guy.
Yeah. And you bought yourself some
Uh,
time. I mean, a year like that gives you some breathing room to maybe go through a slump, and they're not just going to be like, all right, see you, buddy.
right.
So that's at least how I see it. So then moving into the off season here, this is a new kind of off season. You're not doing school anymore. What kind of
Mhm.
funky, funny jobs are you doing? How are you spending your time? Where are you living? All that stuff.
I worked several different jobs. I worked at the back room of Target. I was chopping wood for a farmer nearby.
You talked about chopping wood growing up. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I did that. I did that just kind of for fun, but also read it in a Ted Williams book when I was 14.
Yeah.
And so I asked my parents for an axe for my birthday because that's how strange I was at that age.
That is an
And
odd request for 14 year
yeah,
old.
the dead trees nearby, because I grew up in a pretty not rural, but like wooded area.
Yeah,
Everybody's got some type of woods nearby.
sure.
So, bunch of dead trees, just hack them away. I felt like it was a pretty good workout. So, yeah, did that. So, my jobs, back to the jobs.
It's great. Yeah.
Target back room, chopping wood. I gave a couple lessons
Okay.
to really young kids just because I was around baseball facilities. Hey, you should give some lessons. Like,
Sure.
okay. I worked at where else did I work? A seatbelt, like a factory, assembling seatbelts.
Interesting. I've never heard
It was
that
a
one.
small little side job. One of
Yeah.
my buddies, worked in the office and they needed some people. And then what was the other job? I had 5. Oh, I shoveled snow. Yeah, I shoveled snow,
There you go.
which might not sound like a big deal, but it was a big deal because the first time I went out there was 14 hours straight.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was a
That'll
blizzard.
do it. I mean, like minor leaguers have to cobble together sometimes handful of jobs like you to get by in an off season. Interesting. Now,
Yeah.
workout wise, doing anything different, hitting wise, getting ready for the season, anything you're working on that's unique?
I wouldn't say unique. No, I was just trying to get stronger and trying to get kind of analyzing the power surge that happened later in the season, that season before, trying to figure out like how can I repeat that.
Did you find anything?
I just noticed that the the way I was tipping my bat gave me a very clear idea of like now I'm ready.
Hmm.
Instead of just kind of like I'm ready the whole time, like load up.
Yeah.
It was like I'd hold my bat way offset like this,
Really?
and I'd move around, and it's like now I'm ready. Like there was a very distinct, okay, now I can swing.
Yeah.
And I
Interesting.
think that helped with um just timing and
Yeah.
also a little bit of clarity, like, okay, as long as I'm ready by this time,
Yeah.
I know I can hit this pitcher.
Have you come
So,
across any like special hitting coach in your career at this point yet? Anyone that you like really connected with that like did something really good for your swing or anything like that?
um, there were a few different hitting coaches. I had the minor league hit king, Mike Hessman, or minor
Oh
league home run.
man, Mike Hessman, that's a name.
Yeah, Mike Hessman was my hitting coach in West Michigan. He was great.
Yeah.
Um, I
The real Crack
think,
Davis. Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
he was awesome.
Yeah.
As far as like little things with the swing, it definitely helped. I think if I could go back, I needed like an overhaul,
Yeah.
but I still did pretty well that year. So it wasn't like let's throw it all out,
Yeah.
you know. Um, but yeah, I just that off season just worked out, hit nothing crazy. Just tried to
Okay.
get a little more. I tried to hit more like a pro.
Yeah.
Let's stop just swinging hard. Let's really pay attention. Let's take rounds of 10 times in a row to see what we can do
Now,
instead
are
of
you
like,
back home, like, with your parents at this point? Are you living with some friends? Are you, like, working out with a group of baseballs that are like, pro guys, or what's your circle?
there aren't too many pro guys in the area where I'm
Mhm.
from. I was living with just my parents at the
Okay.
time. Yeah.
Okay. So, when did Teacher Man come into your life?
Not until later, 2020. So
2020.
we're in
Okay.
20, yeah, we're in 2017, about to be 2018.
Okay. I'm fascinated when we get there. I don't wanna
Uh,
skip anything until we get there, man. Are you doing okay? Good?
yeah.
Rolling? Cool. This is awesome. I'm having a great time. We got so much fun stuff ahead. We're gonna go for about 2 hours today. So moving on here to 2018 here. Couple teams you were back with Lackland, and then you make it up to Double A with Erie. But looks like you split the year essentially. Anything unique from that spring training? Anything different? How they're looking at you? Where you're playing? Anything?
Well, the next spring training was like
Yeah.
the best. That was the best spring training ever.
Let's
Yeah.
go. Tell me about it.
I just showed up like very on time from the first at bat.
Really?
I remember like first at bat was on it was one of those like, "Yeah, we're just tracking, but if you wanna swing, you can." And I hit a home run my first at bat. I don't know if anyone even saw it because there were, like, all of the coaches and everything were over here, and then over there, I'm on field 57, and there's, like, different stuff going on, and it was towards the end, and I had just hopped in, and I know one guy that witnessed it besides the pitcher, but I don't think anybody actually saw it, and half my buddies I told didn't even believe me. They're like, "How'd you do today?" I was like, "Oh, I hit a home run." They're like, "No, you didn't." Like, "Yes, I did. It was awesome." But anyway, that spring I just hit really well.
Yeah.
I couldn't, I was just on time. That's it. I was on
Yeah.
time and I was keeping my sights really short, just trying to hit a line drive at the shortstop.
Yeah.
And I was able to just get the barrel on the ball, name of the
Uh-huh.
game. I think
Beautiful.
I don't have numbers, but I know I hit over, I mean, I had to hit 400 that spring.
Now, where are they playing you at defensively? Do you think Detroit is trying to put you into a position at this point, like mold you, or are they still kind of all over the place? Or
No, because I forgot to mention the whole reason I brought up the brawl was I had been an infielder up to that point. We get in a big brawl, we lose, I think, 2 or 3 of our outfielders, and one of them was already gone from something else.
Mhm.
So Mike Hessman asked, "Can anybody play outfield?" Just like a volunteer type of thing, which I thought was funny.
Right?
And I
Minor
raised
league
my
deal.
hand because I wasn't playing. I was like, "Yeah,
Oh
I
no,
can
gosh.
play." Like, but I don't know if they knew I was a much better outfielder at that time than infielder, but
Yeah.
nobody had seen me play outfield.
Yeah.
So I jog out to the outfield in the 6th or 7th inning, or whatever it was, 8th inning of this game. I make a couple diving plays or some good plays. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah.
And then my manager, who was watching the game on TV because he had been ejected, he comes up to me the next day, or maybe it was later that night, and said, "Hey, you're not playing infield the rest of the year." Like, that was impressive.
Impressive. Yeah.
So I played left field, and he believed that helped me offensively because
Some pressure
it
off.
took the mental, like,
Yeah.
I gotta be this spot and this spot. Like, again,
Yeah.
I was not the greatest. No, I was still good. I could field the ball, but I just feel like I wasn't experienced in the infield. And the
Yeah.
outfield was like, I can relax. And in the outfield anyway, you're just chasing the ball and throwing it in. So it's like,
That's true. Yeah.
it's 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 easy, I think, to be okay at outfield. It's hard to be great.
Well
Whereas
said.
in the infield, you can get exposed a lot sooner.
Sure. Absolutely.
Um, but I think to be like a great outfielder is tough.
I absolutely agree. So then let's
So,
take me through this year then. Where did they send you out of spring training? Was it back to Lackland?
oh, I gotta go back to spring training.
Let's go. I'll miss it.
I I got to back up some games,
Mhm.
some major league games.
Oh, cool.
So I had been hitting really well. They had sent the prospects first. I obviously was not a prospect at the
Yeah.
time, and really, I don't think I ever was. But
But you weren't a suspect either yet.
that's right. So I finally on St. Patrick's Day I got to back up a spring training game. Show up. I felt like I couldn't do anything right as far as like taking ground balls, taking batting practice. It was like, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong. I don't know if it was the major league coaching staff trying to make a minor leaguer feel stupid or what it was, but I was like, I felt like I wasn't even eating the sandwich before the game the right way. It was like all these things. I couldn't do anything right.
Right.
So, and then I ended up getting in at bat. I went in the 8th inning of a game and I took the second pitch. It was a changeup right down the middle, and I hit into the bullpen for a home run in my first at bat,
Let's go.
backing up a game. And it was,
Woo.
obviously it was awesome.
Yeah.
So I did that. And then,
What'd that feel like?
oh, that was great. That was really cool. Just ironically enough, I had some family that were at the game.
Oh, cool.
Somehow they went on a vacation. It timed up the right way. It was
Mhm.
my sister and her now husband. Um, they were there, which I was pretty cool because I didn't expect that to be the case.
Sure.
So then I got brought back a few games later. Like, hey, let's see what this guy can do. He just hit a home run, so might as well. So I backed up again, and then first pitch I saw, from a lefty. I hit a single up the middles, hard hit. Like, all right, cool. So I'm 2 for 2
Yeah.
in the show. No, in the Major League spring training, but
Yeah.
counts for something. So then I got brought back a few days later. I don't remember exactly. It might have been the next day, might have been whatever, but I'm facing some righty. I don't remember. First pitch, I hit a triple to center field. So now I'm 3 for 3. I haven't got out yet. I'm like, oh, I could do this. I'm breaking with the team, baby. Which I didn't I didn't think I was. It was a joke I was making. I knew I
Sure.
wasn't gonna do
Right.
that. But going from low A, just having a good
Yeah.
spring training. But um, it was cool. Some people were asking questions like, who's this guy? You know, that
Yeah.
made me
Opening
feel
some eyes. Yeah. Now, was it
yeah.
was it cool to see your name on that big league jersey or get a big league jersey?
Yeah, we just got, number 91 or whatever. There was no name, but it was still awesome. I mean, I have the hat.
For
I
sure.
kept the hats and it was cool. Definitely cool. I think a special thing for me was I believe it was my first at bat. I pinch hit for Victor Martinez.
Oh, cool.
And obviously being a Cleveland guy, like that was
Yeah.
like, oh, I know who that is. Like
Sure.
this guy's the man. And he was watching him hit a little bit. I wasn't obviously around that much, but I was able to watch him at times. Like it was cool. He was definitely like surgical with his like just a lot of intent with every single. He would go to the cage or go to the tunnel. If even in spring training, he would take a certain amount of swings and then come back, having it back, go back to the tunnel, stuff like that.
Now you obviously
It's
got shooed away trying to watch Miggy before. Did you ever get a chance to watch his process or see him a little more up close as time went on?
on the field, yes.
Okay.
Like if I was backing up a game and I was in group 9 of hitting or whatever it was, we would have to shag in the outfield.
Yeah.
So while he was hitting, I would just stand in right field or center field and just watch an absolute display. He would never pull a ball, but everything was hit what felt like 115.
Really? Just
Just stayed
mashed
inside of
everything.
everything, and it was just rockets everywhere.
Just one of the
Um,
most beautiful swings of all time. I poetry watching that guy. Man, so interesting. So then tell me where you get sent out of spring training if we're ready to leave spring training at this point.
I played one more game of spring training. That was an exhibition game,
Okay.
backing up a game, and I was 1 for 3. So,
Nice, dude.
and I got to face Sergio Romo. That was my hit that day.
Oh man, absolutely.
Got
Electric
pretty
closer back
lucky.
in the
Hit a
day.
cap shot up the middle, but it was still a knock.
Sure.
So
Counts,
so
baby.
yeah, that spring training like did really well. I obviously had put on a good showing in the major league games, 4
Yeah.
for 6. So then I get sent to where did I get sent to?
I'm seeing Lackland and Erie here. So in 2018.
Lakeland. Yeah, I was
Lakeland.
in
Yep. Lakeland. Yep. Lakeland.
Lakeland. Started there. Yep, that's right. And then I hit very well.
Yeah. 287, in 55 games, 2 home runs, 2 triples, 9 doubles here.
Yeah, I was at 320 or it was 319 maybe. Got sent up to Double A.
That's a moment.
Yeah, that's when the career was really on the
Yeah.
rise.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
those of you guys that don't know, I mean, I would say the majority of people, if you're gonna flame out in the minor leagues, usually A ball or rookie ball eats you up. So if you make it to Double A, that is a significant thing. That's where the prospects are. That's where the guys that have the talent to get to the show are at. So a huge nod from what I think I know for you getting sent there, and you play well, man. 255 in 48 games, 2 pumps, 1 triple, 8 doubles. Do you want to go back to Lackland here and talk a little bit about that, or do you want to talk about Erie here?
There was
Lakeland,
nothing
sorry.
really that crazy about Lakeland, but I
Okay.
got to play against some. I mean, going through every year, I got to play against some very good players. But the Blue Jays lined up with us in a lot of different, I think almost every level, maybe except for maybe low A was the only one. But like Vladdy, Junior, Bichette,
Yeah.
those were guys I played every. Tatis
Yeah.
was in a lot of different levels too. I think was it O'Neal Cruz was with the Dodgers, if I remember right.
Okay.
So I saw a bunch of these, big time prospects.
Yeah. Superstars.
That was cool.
Now,
So in
Was it very apparent that they were different at that level, or were they still working on things?
I mean, they had the tools. I think
Yeah,
the only guy at that time that it was like, wow, this guy's a really polished hitter. Like he could go to the show right now was Bichette.
really.
Bo Bichette. Yeah. He had a two strike approach where it's like, okay, this guy doesn't strike out. He's hitting
Right.
rockets everywhere. And whereas Vladdy obviously had the power but he had some holes in his swing when he was younger, as
Mhm.
anyone would. But yeah,
Sure.
Bichette was super impressive
Can you tell me about when you got called up, or how did that go
to
to Double A?
double A.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how'd they tell you?
How did they tell me? Good question. I think they just called me in the office and told me. I don't think
It wasn't like
that
some big deal. Yeah,
yeah, I think I had a manager that I had a bunch. He moved up with
each
my
level.
class.
Yeah,
He's awesome. He's the man. I think he might have joked around about it, but I don't even he might have, pretended like I was getting released, but really I was going to double A.
yeah.
I don't remember. It's been so long.
Okay,
I
all right,
sound
yeah. So
I sound
moving
like a
on, and
fossil.
you play really well there. Are they moving you all around the field, or where are you at position wise?
Yeah, I believe I played first when I showed up.
Really?
First and left, maybe. Maybe I don't know, first and second. But yeah, I was moving around. That helped me a lot with I think just getting to double A.
Yeah,
I started hot. I remember I started pretty well. I got 2 hits in my first game. Um, I missed Juan Soto by 1 game.
really?
He got sent up. We were going to Harrisburg, so I
Yeah,
met the team in Harrisburg. He got sent up the night before, and he was super young, but he was a huge deal. So I was like,
yeah.
"Who's this Juan Soto guy?" But then I missed by 1 day.
Did you feel like there
Uh,
was a big jump in competition going from the A ball to Double A?
yeah, I think that everybody says it's a big jump, but it definitely felt like more pitching backwards, more actually knowing who I was as a hitter
Yeah,
and attacking me and my weaknesses instead
yeah.
of just like, here's my fastball, let's see if you can hit it.
Right. So you're
Uh,
thinking along with them at this point, trying
more of
to.
a chess match. I
Yeah,
think, yeah, I was getting better at thinking, but I still don't think I was still just mashing fastballs. I
right.
wasn't really hitting off speed well.
What
But if you
now, was
throw
that your
fast,
approach at this point? You were just thinking, I'm hunting fastball and trying to drill it at the shortstop or at second baseman?
shortstop, yeah,
Shortstop,
for
yeah,
me.
you're
Yep.
lefty, yeah, shortstop.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. I mean, if you threw an off-speed pitch high, I'm sure I was going to hit it decent, but I wasn't like consistently taking change-ups and driving them or
Yeah.
sliders or the book on me. Like if I was pitching to myself at that time, I just never throw a single fastball. You'll probably do all right.
Now, were you at all picking, like, sides of the plate or thirds of the plate and being aggressive and spitting on parts of it or anything like that?
Depending on the pitcher,
Okay.
I think that's another big jump from high A to double A was like there's more. It felt like there are more specialized pitchers.
Mhm.
I don't. Why am I blanking on that word?
I get what you mean,
Specialty
like
pitching. It's
lefty
like
specialists and stuff like that,
yeah,
and
like a submarine guy or like a lefty or this guy has
yeah,
a certain pitch. That's the whole reason he's good. He's got a splitter instead
right,
of just like your typical fastball slider changeup from right here. There's
right, like Steve Klein used to throw all sliders and stuff like that, like a guy like
like
that, a
this
specialist.
guy's a sinker cutter guy, and
Yeah, okay,
yeah. So I started thinking along the lines of who I'm actually facing instead of
yeah,
just kind of the college or high school generic, like, all right, let's hit it that way.
yeah. Now, was there a
So,
particular pitch that just always ate you up that you really struggled with?
yeah, cutters. At that
Cutters?
time, cutters. I could not. I remember asking my manager how to hit a cutter. Hey, how do you hit cutters? Like, I can't do it. And he goes, "You think I could hit cutters? I wasn't paid to do that." He was hilarious.
So then,
He was
any experiences from Double A that you want to talk about or interesting or stories from this year?
I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Okay.
I remember it was cool. Like a lot of a lot of times when I moved up, it was a little bit after a couple of my close friends had been already called up because they
Okay.
were earlier picks and maybe they played better, whatever. But
Yeah.
so whenever I showed up, like I showed up to Erie, and it was like a couple of my best friends were there, and they're like really pumped.
Yeah.
It was much different than just going to a team where you don't know anyone. Where it's like I'm the new
Yeah.
guy standing with my bag. Like where do I go? Like it was very welcoming when your close friends are there, and
For sure.
it was
Let me
cool.
ask you this. A lot of people have felt disillusioned with kind of the change going into pro ball where I mean, all growing up baseball is about like winning and being a part of a team, you know. And then when you get to pro ball, it kind of is an affiliated, but it's more about development, obviously, right? Like the organization is trying to develop you. You're competing against guys on your own team for that's to be seen less about winning. Was that ever a interesting thing for you or a concept that was weird for you?
Yeah, I think it's weird when you have teammates that don't like other teammates just because they think they're not supposed to like them because they play the same position. And I think it's just an insecurity thing, and you got a
Yeah,
bunch of young men that are probably fairly insecure about their job and what they're
sure.
doing, and it's like that's
You
why
never felt that way.
well, not really because I didn't even have a position anyway. Like I
Right,
just was playing everywhere. It wasn't like I could hate the outfielders because I was
right.
playing outfield. I couldn't hate the infielders. I couldn't even hate the first baseman. I didn't want to hate anyone. I was like, all right, well, I just need to play well, and I'm sure if it's meant to be, then I'll move up.
Yeah,
So I think it was interesting seeing the dynamic of different teams, and my
yeah.
two of my close friends were the same position. They were outfielders. They played the same position. They were a very similar type of player. They had good reason to not like each other if you
Mhm.
wanted to look at it as like a competition instead of a team,
Yeah,
but they still were buddies. So it's like, okay, these are probably decent people. Let's
yeah,
just get
for
along
sure.
with them.
So, I mean, overall, I would say a positive year for you. You gotta be feeling good, like you are moving along. 24 in double A isn't crazy, age-wise, but
Mhm.
obviously the clock is ticking when you're in the minors and you were a senior sign. So, anything from this off season that stands out, unique, different, worth talking about?
I got actually sent down at the end of that season. So in August, I got
You got
sent back.
Oh, so you went high A, double A, back to high A.
Yeah,
Interesting.
which I was not happy about that at all because my career had felt like it was going the right way, the
Right,
correct
arcing.
direction. And then I
Yeah,
got sent down, and I was like, okay, well, I know I'm not hitting great, but I was hitting over 250, and I was
right.
playing multiple positions. It wasn't like I was some liability that was like,
Sure.
oh man, this guy's overmatched, because I wasn't. But and I felt kind of shafted at that point, like, oh man, like why am I getting sent down? So then that 320 turned into 280s, whatever it was.
Yeah,
After I got sent down, I was 0 for my first 15 because I was upset.
sure.
I
Absolutely.
just got sent down, and I thought it was unrightfully so, yada yada. I wasn't the first guy that ever happened to.
Did
So
they give you any kind of, information on like, "Hey, they've got this one guy coming up, and this guy got moved, and this guy got hurt," or was it just like, "Hey, you're
no,
getting sent down?"
no, it was just you're getting sent down. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, there's not a whole. I mean, they didn't communicate with. Definitely don't communicate with everyone the same. I don't
yeah,
even know if they communicated well with the guys that they loved, but
right,
or the early picks, I should say. But
yeah,
yeah, it was just some managers I think will dig to try to give you a reason or
yeah.
try to give you some sort of, I don't know if it's comfort or whatever, but and others will just deliver the news and say, I didn't make the decision. Like,
Deal
okay,
with it,
I guess
yeah,
I'm flying on the plane. You just accept it.
right.
So,
Okay, so then a little short stint then back in high A at the end of the year. It's kinda how it went down?
mhm,
Okay.
yep.
So then moving on to the off season, anything unique there?
That off season was, I think I started giving lessons more. I
Okay,
didn't want to, I realized that that was probably the best use of my time instead
sure.
of working at Target and a seatbelt factory.
Staying around the game?
Yeah.
For
And
sure.
let's see, that was 18. Yeah, I got eye surgery That was pretty
Did you do
cool.
LASIX?
Yep, because I had an issue with my eyes in double A that year.
Hmm.
I'd always had bad eyes, but I had like a hole in my retina or something. So
Really?
had a surgery to fix that, and then decided like let's fix the eyeballs because I was not hitting any off speed well,
Yeah.
which is a miracle to hit. I think to hit almost 260 and just never touch off speed.
Oh, that's
So
crazy. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, so that's why I'm saying like just don't throw a fastball. I probably would have really struggled, but I was hammering fastballs.
Yeah. So was it a big
So
difference when you got the eye surgery?
oh yeah,
Surgeries? Yeah?
absolutely.
Really?
I could see sliders. I wasn't just seeing cue balls anymore coming at me.
Really?
It was beautiful. I
So
showed
you
up. I was
actually a
like,
guy that could pick up the little dot on a slider?
well, after the surgery, yeah,
Oh, nice.
for sure.
Okay.
And probably before then, like before I had the eye problems, yeah, I could see. But the biggest thing I think was just seeing changeups. Seeing a
Okay.
changeup out of the hand is like, especially as a lefty with some power, it's like it's everything. If you can't
Yeah.
pick the changeup out of the hand, good luck.
For
So,
sure. So, I mean, were you able to hit breaking stuff after this better or see it better? Obviously.
yes,
Okay.
definitely. Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. Well, then you have an interesting year here. This is going to be your last and affiliated from what I think I see here, and you run the gamut: A ball, double A, triple A, and obviously I don't know in what order,
Not in
but
that order.
what's that? Not in that order.
Not in that order, no.
Anything from
No.
the spring training that stands out that's different, unique, worth talking
Um,
about?
Not really. I didn't have a bad spring training. I didn't have one like, in 2018 or 17, whatever it was, 18,
Yeah.
that I went crazy. But I ended up having a small little broken finger at like one of the last days of uh of spring training. So then obviously I start again on the extended list, extended
Yeah.
spring training.
You know what? Let's since we're getting close to 2 hours here, let's we'll wrap with this year and then we'll just we'll cut it and then we'll pick it up again. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, we could go a lot more.
Oh no,
There's
I
a
mean
lot.
obviously, I mean I'm in this. If we're two or three parts to this, I'm so in it, dude. This is a fascinating story.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take our time here. So I just want to make sure that we have time. I don't want you to feel like you're rushing.
No, Monday is my most dead day anyway.
Cool.
So
So we'll just start scheduling some Mondays then.
yeah,
Cool, man.
Monday. I think Wednesday's probably good too, but
Okay.
if it if it's at this time. Anyway,
Yeah. Let's go. Last year in affiliated.
last year, final
Uh,
dance.
What's
Yeah.
up?
So I started in extended and then I got sent to high A, I think just to get some at bats. I don't know. I was upset about that because I had just been in double A the season before.
Right.
I think I hit like 250 in a week in high A, whatever it was.
Hmm.
And then got sent up to double A. And then I noticed there I was not playing very much. I
Yeah.
struggled. I think it was just a product of not playing a lot. It's really hard to hit when you're hitting twice a week
Absolutely.
in
Yeah.
games. I don't know. There's really no answer. Like that's the hardest thing to do in sports, I think, is to not only hitting, like hitting is difficult. Pinch hitting and then
Oh
playing
God.
a game once a series is almost
So hard.
impossible
Yeah,
to
so
do
hard.
that. To do that and be successful over a long stretch is like is tough. But so then I was there. I was in double A for I don't know, a month. I don't have really any recollection of any of those games. I hit a triple once. I don't know. I might have hit a couple homers.
Yeah.
Um, and then I get sent down to high A. Now I'm like, all
So
right, this is
high
my
A, double A, back to high A.
no, this is my fourth tour in high A, and I'm like, come on, I can't believe I'm doing this again. So now
I'm
I
too
go,
old to be here. Yep.
yeah, I go back to high A, playing all different kinds of positions, playing every day, which I still like. I was still happy to be playing. It wasn't like I was
Sure.
had a bad attitude. I never was. I don't know. You probably ask any of my managers. I was never like a
Right.
troublemaker or like just upset or making it about me in the clubhouse.
Malcontent.
But
Right.
yeah, so played there and then that was the hottest summer of all time. I remember just like dying. A bunch of day games, kids games. I was like, man, this is tough. But uh, and then I got sent to Toledo in August,
Yeah.
beginning of August.
From
Yep.
high A?
I thought they were joking. Yeah, I thought they were messing with me. On the bus on the way back from a game where there were like one, maybe two people were at the game. It
Yeah.
was like it was a typical Florida State League game. It was a million degrees. There was
Mhm.
no one at the game. It was windy for no reason, blowing like straight sideways. And after that game, I remember like I got drilled by 97 in the back, get a hit, like it's just grinding away. After the game, hey, you're going to Toledo. I'm like, yeah, right. I said, yeah, right. Okay, sure. Yeah, sick. I'm going to Toledo. No, I'm not. And they're like, no, you're going. I'm like, okay, sure. I'll see you tomorrow. I still didn't believe them. And then the manager walks back. He says, no, you're going to Toledo. Like, and shows me like the proof, you know. I said, oh, all right, cool. Like I did not expect that at all. I had just been demoted from double
Yeah.
A.
Right.
And I apparently there were some injuries and
Need to fill
I
a
didn't
spot.
really care. I didn't
Yeah.
really care what the reason was. I was just happy to be getting called up to a level I hadn't been to before.
And you
And
play well.
yeah, played well.
Yeah.
Showed up, was essentially told it doesn't matter what you do, you're gonna hit ninth,
Mhm.
which I thought was pretty funny. Like, oh, I could go 10 for 10, you're still gonna put me in the 9 hole? Like,
Yeah.
so
20 games, 3 home runs, 270 batting average, 6 doubles, man. Hey, pretty darn good.
yeah, for not I mean, it was a new level, it was
Yeah.
whatever, I if you take those numbers and stretch them out for a whole season, like, that's a pretty solid
Pretty
year.
solid. Yeah. Absolutely.
I would have had double digit homers and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but yeah, I struggled, I think my first week, and then I made the craziest adjustment of all time. I found a it's not even crazy, that's why I'm leading into.
Okay.
I found a piece of paper randomly in a locker room, and it was my own heat map
Really?
of how I hit against all pitches.
Uh-huh.
I had never seen this. I didn't know, you know, the analytics stuff was different at the time.
Sure.
We would get a heat map of the pitcher, we would get a frequency chart, and that was about it.
Yeah.
We didn't have all kinds of the stuff they have now where you can set a machine to the pitcher, like
Yeah.
all that stuff. So, and I would look at that, but anyway, I found this page and I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, everything inside was cold." Now, this is because I know now because my swing was very flawed.
Mhm.
I was diving forward, losing time, making pitches faster than I needed to be.
Losing time. There's a big
I
one.
had a
Yeah.
big slack move, and no wonder I couldn't hit an inside pitch.
Yeah.
But I was still hitting all right. Like I was still hitting pretty well.
Sure.
So I just moved back. I took a step back. The old Pete Rose, just moving the
Really? Yeah.
box.
Pete Rose talked about moving around the box all the time.
Yeah, just literally took a big step back, and I hit great after that. Now this pitch on the hands that I couldn't get the barrel on. Now all of a sudden that's going over the scoreboard. I was
Did
like, oh,
anyone tell you to do this, or you did it?
no, I just common sense. You know,
Really?
common
That
sense. Like look at the map. Like okay, I'm probably standing too close, and then
Yeah.
just move back.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So were you at all nervous going to AAA? And like these are obviously the dudes that are knocking on the door to the show, or did you feel like, hey, you don't strike me as a nervous type of a guy, at least, or like maybe I'm wrong.
uh, no, I mean I think everybody has some jitters and stuff. I don't think if they say they don't, they're lying.
Sure.
But I was just enjoying, playing baseball. There were no expectations of me to get to that
Right.
level, certainly.
Right.
There were no expectations of me to even hit well. I was hitting in the 9 hole,
Yeah.
So it was like, it's kind of like playing with house money, even though
Yeah.
I thought I would do well and I felt I had expectations for myself, which
Yeah.
ultimately that's what led to the swing change, which obviously we'll get into. But
Mm.
Um, yeah, I mean, my buddies were on that team, the ones that I keep talking about,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, we're all together again. This is awesome." And I
Yeah.
just enjoyed playing, and I thought it was interesting, the dynamic between guys that had been to the show versus guys that hadn't, and it was like the guys that had been to the show, most of them would hang that over the heads of the guys that hadn't, like a
Mm.
seniority type of thing, which I thought
Okay.
was kind of strange.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I wasn't super nervous. I was just doing something. If I was nervous, it would end when I got in the box because
Yeah.
that was where I was most comfortable.
And where are they playing you in the field?
I started at I think I started at third. Yeah, I think I was playing third every day, and then Candelario got sent down, or maybe he was rehabbing. I can't remember. And then I went
Okay.
to second,
Okay.
so third and
So
second.
a unique year being moved around that much, and then for you to end up in AAA and do well, gotta feel good ending it like that. Was there any talks from the organization, like exit meetings at the end of the year, like, "Hey, we see you as this," or "This is how we see your
No,
future"?
no,
Nothing like that. No, nothing.
no. The exit meeting was not that. Never. Well, I don't think that ever happened. Um, yeah, no, they just slap you on the back pocket, backside, and have a good off season. That
That's
was it.
it. Yeah. So, I mean, did you ever consider trying to go play winter ball anywhere during your time in affiliated, or was that on your radar?
I wanted to. Yeah,
But you have to be asked to do that,
especially
or how does that
did I
work?
ever get asked?
Nope, you have to be asked to do that. Is that how that works?
I think you just need to know somebody that can get you in,
Mhm.
and obviously have the resume.
Right.
I had asked since I think it was 17, off season
Yeah.
of 17, 18. Every year I was asking whoever I could to try to get somewhere.
Yeah.
I would ask my agent. My agent would say, ask the team. The team would say, ask the agent. And then I was like, okay, something's off here. Why is nobody telling me? And then I was told, well, you need some double A time. Then I finally got double A time. Well, you need some triple A time. It's like, no, you don't. I want to go play in Australia. Like those guys haven't all played in triple A.
Right.
So yeah, it was just really, really hard to get my foot in the door. I felt like everybody was just kind of doing the Spider-Man thing where they're pointing at the other guy.
Yeah.
And it
You're
was,
Spider-Man? Oh,
yeah, like
man.
they're both just doing that. I'm like, okay, well, so that was, I tried.
Yeah.
I didn't really have success, obviously, getting to play winter ball. I really
No.
wanted to. I wanted to
Yeah,
go see the world a little bit.
for sure.
Um,
You got to
I,
eventually.
yeah, I was able
Yeah.
to do that later on.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but during my time with the Tigers, it was not. I think it's a little tough too for guys to do that when they're with an affiliate because it's whether teams want to admit or not, there is some risk to doing that.
Sure.
If you go play, if you're a mega prospect, you go play, you break your hand. Now you miss two months of the actual season. It's like, oh. So I don't know. Not that they cared if I don't think they
Yeah.
cared if I was playing.
Right.
I mean, I was whatever, but it was still hard to get
And
my foot in the door with the
this
winter
was
ball.
obviously the end of your time in affiliated. Did you have any inclination that this was the Tigers were feeling this way about you, or it was getting close to the end, or did you feel like you had more time?
Um, I felt like I had more time. I think I
Yeah.
did have more time.
Yeah.
I don't think they had any intentions of releasing me after that season because I didn't underperform.
Right.
Um, I think COVID hit, and then they had to make some decisions
Oh, is that how
because
it went? It was
I didn't
COVID
get
related.
released until July of the next year.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, and I don't want to get too far there because we're kind of close to our 2 hours here. So
Right.
let's round it out with a couple like fun baseball questions that I got kind of at the back end, and then we'll come back and to your career on part two, and we'll keep on rolling. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, fine with
Cool,
me.
man. Let's go a fun one. This is so interesting to me. What is your favorite baseball smell, or what are some of your favorite baseball smells?
Favorite baseball smell. Well, I can only think of like three baseball smells. No, there's more than that.
There's plenty, buddy.
Favorite baseball smell? Oh, that's got to be the pine tar. When it's like the bucket of the liquidy pine tar.
Yeah,
That's a
that's a
good
great
smell.
one. Speaking
Yeah.
of, what all do you use for grip wise, stick wise? Are you a Moda stick? Are you spray, rosin, pine tar? What's your combination?
Depends. There were times where I would go no batting gloves and I would just use dirt
Oh,
and,
dog.
but not super often. Just the stick usually, stick or the liquid pine tar,
Okay.
tiger stick. Yeah,
Classic.
but
Um,
none of them work good enough. Sorry to cut you off
no, you're good. Sorry.
because you can find plenty of videos of me launching my bat into the stands. So I never understood like the hold the bat really loose in your hands, like be relaxed. Anytime
Yeah.
I did that, the bat would just go further than the ball. I'm like, okay, well, I need to hold on to this thing.
You gotta give it a little something. I love
Yeah,
that.
I've probably
Well,
done that 20 times in my life. I mean,
really, that is a lot.
30. Almost killed somebody once. I'm like, all right.
Did
But
you have a preferred number? If yes, why?
I don't. I was 14 growing up. I was 27. I think I was 27 my summer of going crazy in college, and then I got
Okay.
drafted 27th round.
Okay. That
So I
works.
don't know. I was like, there was some correlation there, but I've been all kinds of. I was number 77 once. I don't.
Okay.
I thought that was kind of cool, but
That is a cool number. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, what all walk up, music have you used, and do you have a favorite?
I cringe at some of my earlier ones
Give me them all. I
that
want to hear them all.
I won't mention.
Oh, I need them all. I need them all,
I
baby.
got later on after I had been in Mexico, and I did Joe Arroyo Rebellion. It's like a salsa.
Yeah.
That's a great one. That is a tremendous song. And then Tequila was this year.
Oh, right. You told me that before. Yeah,
There's
tequila.
only
That's sick.
there's only one word, so
Yeah.
that's a good one. But I tried to not get. I always, maybe not always, but as I got older, it's like I don't need to get fired up for this at bat. This isn't
Yeah.
football where I can just go tackle somebody and try
Right.
harder and I'll do well. And I also don't want to be put to sleep.
Sure.
So just something in between, maybe have some that just sounds nice and has a
Do
little
you
rhythm. Maybe some fans like it. I had Susudio by Phil Collins when I was in Toledo because it
Interesting.
was pretty close to my name.
Yeah. Have you had a cringe one that you wish you hadn't used?
Yeah. Yep.
You gonna tell me it?
But no, I don't think so.
It's that
No,
bad?
no, it wasn't that bad. It's just like I would never sit down and listen to the song now. I was like, what was I thinking? Like I thought this sounded cool. I don't know.
Okay. Let's go last one here. The best baseball movie and why, and the worst and why.
Oh man. Well, the best. I'm gonna say The Natural's the best
Love it. Can you see that behind
because
me?
what do you got? Is that Roy Hobbs? Yep. There we go. The best that ever played or best that ever was. Yep.
Yep. Obviously
That
respected
one
as well.
I like that one because I mean, as like a baseball fan, player, person, it's like the baseball movies where the baseball actions are horrible. It's like, oh man, that guy
Like the
can't
Babe,
throw.
terrible.
Can't throw. It's like that. Now Roy Hobbs didn't have the best swing in the world, but it was
It
good
wasn't
enough.
terrible. Wasn't terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible. And if you watch the like turning double plays and all the other stuff, like those guys look great
Legit.
for the time.
Absolutely.
Like they
Absolutely.
look exactly like how 19, 20, 30 kind of the setting. That's
Old
how they
timey.
looked when they turn a double play.
Yeah.
That was cool. And even like the random pitchers that come in, like their arm action's pretty good too.
Like their wind
So
ups and stuff, how they're a little more
yeah.
elaborate and kind of like showy and yeah, for sure.
hmm
Distinct.
And the story's cool. I think it's just a cool story.
I agree.
Obviously when he knocks the lights out at the end, like that's cool. Major League's up there for me. Some of
Sure.
the baseball actions, like I was saying, are pretty rough. Like Jake Taylor running down the line. Um, that's brutal.
Looking slow. That's
And when he
looking
throws
slow.
down to second,
Yeah.
that's like second base. It's like, oh man, that wouldn't have made it to the pitcher's mound.
But
But
Charlie Sheen threw pretty well. Wouldn't you
yeah,
agree? He looked pretty legit.
yes.
And obviously,
Well,
he
it's
played
like
high
mid
school
80s.
baseball. He was a pretty legit baseball player, if I recall.
Yeah, I think he was like mid to high 80s, according to whatever folklore I
That's nuts
believe.
for an actor to be doing that. Yeah, it looked legit to me.
Yeah. So that one obviously just that's more funny than
For sure.
anything. Worst, I don't know about worst. I can't.
Can I float one to you?
Yeah.
Summer catch.
Yeah, not good. Not good. Not good. I Yeah, we can just stay to that. I mean,
Summer catch is terrible.
there's yeah, like Bull Durham is in the running for like a pretty good one, but there's moments where it's like, this is like
Doesn't hit
either
for
the
you.
baseball action or like the backstory is like,
Sure,
it's okay. I don't need to, you
for
know.
sure.
the- But I think was it Sandlot 2? That was brutal.
Terrible.
Yeah,
Boo. Yeah, I
we'll say
agree.
that is the worst for
I'm
me.
for it, and I think that's a great place for us to wrap here. So we've got this was awesome talking through your story. We've got all of your indie ball, all of your Mexican league stuff.
That's where
What's up?
that's where it gets really good.
Dude, I have indie ball is very close to my heart. I'm an indie ball grinder, so I cannot wait to hear the tales of you bouncing around indie ball, man, and your HLP stuff. And I've got so many cool baseball questions for you. So thank you for giving me so much of your time, man. I appreciate it. We'll do this again next Monday, hopefully. And we'll be in touch, brother. I appreciate your time. This is going to be the Chad Sedio story part 1. You got anything for us before we get out of here?
I don't think so. You want to do Monday?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
You into
I
it?
could do Wednesday. I could do Wednesday if you could do Wednesday.
Right now, I've got a standing appointment on Wednesday too. I've got a long story that's like going to be a couple months on Wednesday. So
Wow.
Monday is our pocket if we can do it, brother.
Perfect.
All right, man. I appreciate your time. We're out of here.
All right.